All right, guys, we're live again. I apologize for the last time. It was really embarrassing. I'm so sorry. I was wondering why we had literally no
Anyway.
viewers. I'm so fucking sorry. Apologies, deep apologies to everybody who was witness to that.
Man, we're just
Fucking hell.
conversating, bro. You know what it
Jesus
is.
Christ. We were
You know
really
what
just
it is,
talking.
Chief.
I didn't even know that it was happening. I see that the settings were all fucked up, and it set itself to members only.
Bro, it's
And-
all Coolio, Chieftain. You know what
Oh
it is.
man.
Cheating?
Also,
Yeah, Chieftain.
who's in a market right now where there's bare gal just chatting in the background, rah, like, come on,
It's called what?
show some composure, sir.
Wait, what?
Control, can you set me up?
Hey, what's up, Leo? Bro, Leo, it's open, my guy.
Bro, you
can-
work? Ain't that capitalist?
Like, Leo, we in bunker 1 right now, bro. It's an open stream, dog. It's like anyone can just get in. Like, literally, if you in my Discord, it's not one of those secret things. Anybody can just get in right now, bro. Anybody can be
My
on
man
stream.
Leo's
G.
always hovering. As soon as the stream goes on, he's there. It's crazy.
Who? Oh no, Leo's a day one. Leo's a day one. He's a real.
I was waiting for that on live, but he's waiting. As soon as that red dot shows up,
Someone's telling me to read Eden Zero. You know what? Yeah, I might actually do that because there's a character in there that is basically just me. He's a nigga named Nido who's a YouTuber. It's fun. Like his nigga is.
I don't
His name
remember
is-
when it started.
Well, I'm high as fuck, so I was saying nigga as
No,
name.
no.
So his name,
Yeah.
his name,
that man definitely hit the bell, bro.
his name is Nino, but it's crazy. Like,
That man said Nino.
Anybody remember?
his name is Nino, but he's like a goat. He's like
Star
a
Trek critic and
internet
angry bit.
YouTuber. I don't know what kind of fucking thing that's going on in like fucking Eden Zero. It's like a magic YouTube type thing. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Damn.
Yo,
I don't
so-
remember when the Nostalgic Critic and
the
Angry
fuck
Video
dude,
Game
fuck,
Art got in an
where we
anime.
at? Yo, bro,
What all hero
I
machine
can't,
was thinking?
you know I can't be thinking about Africa right now, bro. Like, it's crazy if I start thinking about what kind of time that the people at home are going to have to start streaming inside now.
This is a terrible
Am
African
I
impression.
supposed to be focusing
You
on
have a
on
worse
every time-
accent than me.
Am I supposed to be focusing on every fucking time zone that everybody is inside? Are you stupid? Fucking
She has a better
fucking
accent than you. Go on, Sheem.
I don't know about
Telling me
I
I
You
should
should
worry
be
about
ashamed
time
of yourself
zone.
as a Nigerian.
I think that's a pretty good African accent.
Time zone. Mosope, are you fucking mad?
Needs more clicks.
Don't start your nonsense here.
More tongue.
Excuse me, are you telling me
more...
are you telling me that this is not an authentic African accent? Are you telling me that my Nigerian accent is not itself very, very fucking, how can I say this?
This is a telenovela.
Authentic?
Oh, yeah.
Are you telling me that I'm not speaking with the conch, the waiting? I'm being a fucking stereotype right now. I should stop.
God save the queen.
Check, Jimmy.
I'm being a fucking stereotype.
Jimmy, I know how I feel like.
No, but the thing is,
Jimmy, I know how
people,
you feel like.
people are gonna think I'm being one stereotype, but they don't know that I'm being a very specific stereotype that they probably aren't very aware of unless they come from Nigeria. And and for any Nigerian viewers who are watching, I apologize. I'm very sorry.
Is it less transgressive than the alternative stereotype that people might be thinking of?
It's more transgressive.
Oh,
Oh no.
Because the stereotype I was going for was specifically trying to like dig at people's parents. Like that's how people's parents sound on the phone.
You know,
That's how people's parents sound on the phone, especially when they're drunk.
you joke, but that's exactly what my neighbor sounds like.
Like that's how Nigerian
Jimmy, I know.
that's how Nigerian people
feel.
sound like when they're
I
drunk
know how
and
you
on the
feel.
phone. I'm not even very, very sure that you even understand the situation you have brought.
Maybe it's just the
yourself
phones they use.
into.
Maybe they're just really bad phones.
It's just I don't know, man. They're just very loud and they're just extremely like. It's not that they don't have a vocabulary, because they do. Nigerians are very loquacious. It's just the way we say things makes it very difficult to understand.
bro, they're gregarious.
This particular equilibrium of the perpendicular surface that is
Look at him, he's speaking pidgin.
diametrically opposed to my particular axioms are currently under fire from the cantankerous nations of Nazi apologists that exist across the internet. That's essentially how Nigerians who are intelligent talk. If they sound like a fucking stereotype.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that explains why you
they
don't
sound like a fucking
stereotype.
stereotype.
Hear me out.
I like it.
Do Jamaica now? Okay, right.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
Right. Yeah,
Please
right.
don't.
Here's the thing about me. Here's the thing about me doing patois, right? Here's the thing about me doing patois, right? I grew up around Jamaicans, so I have a fairly good grasp of patois, but I'm not like accurate. I'm not as accurate in patois as I would be in something like pidgin or just a general African accent. Because, you know, I've never lived in Jamaica. And, like, even though I've lived around a bunch of Jamaicans and I have a lot of Jamaican people in my life that I cherish so deeply, but including you, Control Freak, including you.
Man, just say Amon and get over it.
I'm talking about Cameron in specific.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm not Jamaican, so I can't really like do that accent very accurately, and I'd rather not embarrass myself on stream right now.
Just say Amon.
Any more so than I've already done.
Come on.
What an accent that I can kind of do is Ghanaian.
Go ahead.
Let
me hear it.
You cry. You always try to say something. It's always something that you're always trying to say. Like you cry, but I don't even understand you, Charlie. It's so specific that
you sound like you sound like my aunt.
The way Ghanaian,
So let me get this straight.
The way
you went on this live to go talking people in different accents.
Nigga, we having fun. We having fun. That's what we're doing, bro. We're just being alive. This is what we do. Bro,
he's
zooted.
What do you take, bro? 30s?
Nigga, I'm zooted right now, bro. I ain't trying to correct, nigga.
Right now. So.
Global warming happens.
Yeah. Jimmy's totally sober right now.
I know, I'm having fun, bro.
Yo, look, look, bro. Here's the thing. For as long as the internet's a free place where I can just talk about shit and not feel like I'm being drilled by everyone, and I can just have a good conversation with my mates and get a point across, I don't feel like I should have to capitulate to any. And I know this is gonna sound like the PC police. Why are you trying? Because I'm not gonna say anything particularly offensive to anybody. Well, I'm not gonna try and say anything particularly offensive.
Actually, yeah. Why are you getting shit with Jack Saint?
Beg your pardon?
You getting shit with Jack Saint?
Did I get into shit with Jack Saint?
Yeah,
he quote tweeted you, bro.
Wait, did he quote? Oh,
what? Did he?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What's in the dark always come to light.
Do we need to go into politics bunker to seal this?
Oh no, he did. Okay, look, this is what he said. This is what he said. Listen. Look, he said, hey, here's a thought. What if we were just different types of creators who appeal to different people for different reasons?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
I went on to say that. No. But if you literally just followed the chain of fucking, this is why the internet is a terrible place. Let me tell you people.
No, that's why Twitter is a bad place for discussion.
This is why the internet is a terrible place.
No, this is why I don't post my opinions on Twitter.
This is okay. I want it to be known, and anybody can please clip this. Jack Saint, I fucking love you. I love your videos. You're a wonderful guy. I think your videos are funny as hell, and I think you're a wonderful, very beautiful part of BreadTube Critique, and we love you, and we need you to continue doing what you do, and I want you to be in good, safe graces. However, the point I was trying to make, the point I was trying to make was that your content and the way you approach content is preaching to the choir.
No, exactly. No.
And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with preaching to the choir. There's nothing wrong with being a choir preacher, because, bro, I'm in the choir singing along with you, my nigga. I'm here singing to everybody the good Lord's praises of fucking communism, bro. I know. I'm here with you. I'm not trying to fucking attack you about that. I'm telling you from the choir, bro, that, like, there's other people preaching a different kind of thing. This is the exact same thing. This is the thing he said anyway. So
Big Joe's giving you shit too.
Oh, here we go. Big Joe's giving me.
Why?
Wow, I'm an enemy of BreadTube, guys. I'm an enemy of BreadTube. Nino becomes an enemy.
Wait, what happened? What happened now? What have you done? Jimmy, I was gone for 30 minutes and now you're an enemy of BreadTube.
I actually supporting Bosch, man. That's what you get, man.
No. Now that I actually read Nano's tweet, he's actually right. In terms of expansion, absolutely. In terms of consolidation, yeah, that's what people like God Simon and Jack Saint do.
I'm tweeting this out live on stream. I just want to be clear. I love all BreadTube.
Okay, can someone fill me up on what Jimmy's actually done? Because I was gone for 30 minutes doing,
I didn't do okay, Jesse. Really, these were okay. This is a string of
God help us.
This is a string of tweets that I made. This is a string of tweets that I made way earlier in the day.
Sorry.
This is a string of tweets that I made way earlier in the day when I was just like, you know what? I was having an episode, okay? I was having an episode, and I felt like talking about some leftist shit. I felt like getting some shit off my chest.
I warned you about that.
I felt like getting some Twitter.
I really warned you about.
No, all right, chill. Everybody shut up.
I'm also talking to the mic right now.
Shut up. Everybody shut up.
Out the slum.
Truly, I hate society. Truly.
This is where.
Chill. No. Okay, no, Jesse.
All right, let Jimmy speak.
Anybody see that Joker movie?
Yeah, fuck, right? The point I was trying to make with those string of tweets was that we as leftists and as people who are invested in a critique of capitalism.
Where's Crush when you need to nuke society?
Shut up. People who are invested in a critique of capitalism need to be open to the idea that there are other people who are going to critique capitalism in the same way you do, for the same reasons you do, rooted in the same things you fight for, that do not agree with you in your particular rhetoric, or how to do it, or the way you live your life, or the anime you like, or the fucking food you eat. People are different from you. They do different things. Everyone is living their own life. So, for you
but Jimmy, it all depends on how, problematic their methods are.
And here's
not that problematic.
And here's an important.
Jimmy, if you hadn't said soy boy bread too, we might actually be in a better society.
You know what?
Hold on.
So when I say
the funny thing is, when you look at bread ingredients, the first ingredient that comes to mind is soy. So
Control, that's what I'm not talking about. Every day I get closer to me and Jimmy becoming supervillains and just killing humanity. Because I'm so tired. I'm so tired every day.
I am so
Jimmy's rhetoric is
are we just like in a deck measuring contest to see like who can be the loudest?
I don't know.
Is that what's going on? I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm sorry, I don't know how to lower down my mic. I'm having a problem.
Who's silent?
Control. Are you on phone or PC?
You had a filler arc. Wow.
Phone.
Well, that's funny. All right. So,
all I know is sometimes, Jimmy, you tweet like Destiny. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Oh yeah, no, Jimmy. Absolutely. No, I'll agree with that. I'll eat that. I'll eat that. I need to be stopped.
Destiny got suspended.
Yeah, he did, but they still haven't canceled me yet, bro. They tried to. They're trying to.
What?
Am I canceled?
You're on the canceled network right now.
Huh?
I mean, you have
to think this is prime time television, Jimmy?
Bro,
what do you think you're on?
I'm pretty sure like the Chipmunk girl got him suspended.
Wow, the Chipmunk girl must have got injured. Yeah, no, she's the one who just fucking like bulldozed everything about him, like made him literally rant for years. She's literally a nobody. She's a Chipmunk account who talks about communism with 1,000 followers to her people about not like she's literally minding her own business and decided to call you out on some real shit you did and some actual points that you fucked up. And I'm so happy that we can talk about Destiny now and not focus on
Jimmy.
Destiny out here like I say the N-word all the time. Stop mischaracterizing me.
Bro, did you see that Destiny was trying to fucking cancel Hassan Piker?
Okay.
Wait, he was trying to cancel Hassan Piker?
Someone just asked me a really stupid question. someone just asked me a really stupid question, and they also spelled my name wrong. So they're going. So as soon as I'm done reading it, they're going to get deafened. They're going to get like timed out for a little bit because don't spell my name wrong. My name is J. If you're going to call me Jimmy, spell it Jimi. If you don't know how to spell it, call me Nino. Thank you very much.
What's poppin', Jimbo?
So yeah. More importantly, do you care about the effects of illegal immigration on black people? Now here's because
Oh, we can get into this.
Oh, really?
Control?
Shit,
No, we can't control. No, we can't.
Oh, no,
bro,
we
just
can.
look aside. I wish we
can.
just God. Why we
Like,
just fucks like
we
this
can.
every day?
Because if we're gonna, it's a very funny thing. If we're gonna get into illegal immigration and how that affects black people, we need to get into understanding a few things about how labor works. See, the first
No. Don't specify this question with a response.
Remember?
It's way too vague. Tell them to specify, because this is like asking you what do you think about the color yellow?
Remember in Bleach when Ichigo freed the immigrants? I like that part. Let's talk about Bleach again. I like that. My favorite arc.
The Fullbring arc, right? The reason why it was like an actually amazing thing to do from a writing perspective, if you actually apply some logic to it, is that Bleach had gone through a really interesting shift as far as most big shonen manga had done, because what would essentially just have been the end of a manga kind of just opened up way more questions, as in who the fuck is the Soul King, as in what was Aizen actually trying to reach. So all that stuff kind of got thrown up in the air, and yeah, it felt very drawn out and ass pully at the time, because we were kind of
what's up, bro?
Hey, it's the second half of the unit.
No, Cam, why'd you come here, bro? Why did you smoke and be happy?
It's the Emerald Ignito's share.
Hey, you'll see.
Wait, is it? Wait, is Cam Amuro and I'm Cha? Is that what this
is?
Oh God.
Yeah, what? Jimmy, you're like Cha on PCP, if that makes sense.
What the fuck?
I
came here to laugh at you.
Anyway. Jimmy, you went to war with Left Tube, so you're Char, basically.
I'm not at war with anyone! Fucking hell! I'm not at war with anyone! I'm literally this is so
Hey, fam, man's not Elizabeth, but man, man's is Warren.
Yo, shut up! Shut up! Brother. Yo, anyway.
Yo, I'll drink 8 cups of water a day to that.
Oh, my
God.
Nigga.
Yo, hey, bro, what's good with you, bro? What's good, Zen?
What's good, man? How you doing?
It's good. It's good to finally speak to you, bro. How you?
Zen, this is my homie. This is Shinobi. He's gonna be part of the channel soon. As soon as
what?
Yeah.
Finishes
so there's actually gonna be a couple really big changes. Well, this is I might as well talk about this now on stream.
Yeah, this is the perfect place to talk about it.
Right.
Wait, we're on stream?
Yeah.
We are on stream. It doesn't matter at this point.
Fuck?
There's like 10 people watching the
stream.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
all that anti-Semitic stuff that we were talking about.
Oh wait.
We're done.
Jesse,
a bunch of people to watching an update video.
Jesse,
So
Jesse, why'd you put CIA
let me pivot
Discord?
Let me pivot into this update video real quick.
Oh my God.
So basically, I have a few new ideas. I'm going to start letting a few of my friends make videos on the channel.
Ooh.
Oh, that worked out great last time.
that aren't named Econ, because he has his own channel to talk about.
Yeah, he has his own channel now.
He has his own channel now. He's already spun off from the Enterprise. I need new talent. I've literally already generated 1 star from my platform. So
I mean,
who was that?
Very weird.
Who was
You
that?
could have given Elijah a platform. Instead, you chose Econ.
Elijah did get a platform.
And look what that has got you.
There's not even no difference between their opinions. They're just as
damn, bro. That's
you need to chill.
How could you say that, bro?
They both. People are gonna come at people.
This nigga said that he Dame dashed his friends. Rude.
He gained.
I mean, I think it's to traffic, but I'm an idiot.
Are you?
You can Elijah cut from.
But think about it, bro.
Anything
I'm not calling you disrespect. I don't call him by his real name. Screw him. But yeah, you and Elijah are cut from the same thread.
You can. Well, okay. Well, whatever. Fuck that. Regardless, let's get back to the point. There's a point being made. There's a point being made. So, there's gonna be people who are going to be creating some content on my channel. If you know him already, there's another gentleman by the name of Maelstrom. He's my friend Julian. I don't know if he's even available to stream right now, but he's another individual.
Check his channel. I'll link the channel.
Someone link his channel. Link his channel in chat. But he's a really good YouTuber. He's a really good analysis. Like basically, me and him have been friends since high school, and we more or less like decided to become involved in anime on the internet at the same time. And the only difference between me and him is I stuck with it and he got a life.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you know he has happiness and Jimmy just does has.
So now you're bringing
it
back
into
the light.
So now Julian has a little bit more free time on his hands. And so essentially, if you like how I approach anime and want someone who kind of understands the same ways that I approach anime,
watch The Storyteller.
Well, I mean, hold tight, storyteller. Hold tight, big up, storyteller.
Jimmy is
big
a
up
liar.
From
He's
London.
a storyteller. He just changes with audacity.
Shut up. I don't. You know what? Yeah, actually. You know what? Yeah. Let me actually get the storyteller on stream to fucking disprove all of this rubbish.
Jimmy, you have more than 3. Jimmy, you have 5 Discord accounts. Okay, you can just switch back and forth. We know this.
Wait, Jesse, why am I only in one Discord account?
5?
He actually does. That's not even that wasn't a joke. Jimmy actually does have 5.
This nigga has active shadow clone.
Duplicity.
Wow.
One for each of your crap personality.
Deviant. I could be in your Discord, viewer.
You wouldn't even know.
What the fuck?
You better check. Ask about me.
That's some Predators stuff you just
ask
said.
about.
Ask about
you don't know.
You should have 9. You should have 9 Discord accounts.
You could have sent me. You could have sent me your nude last week. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Creep.
Well,
you could have just sold. I could have just sold you. I could have just sold you some really on the black market. And then when I talked about
this nigga sold you a Pepsi Max and you bought it.
If you want to hear the uncensored version, go to
you don't keep Pepsi around here, bro. You bought nothing. You brought air.
If you want to hear the uncensored version, go hit up the Patreon. Oh, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Go to my Cam Soda if you want to hear the uncensored version. Oh, my Jesus.
Wait, you're a Cam?
You have a Cam Soda.
Jimmy,
Yo, my nigga.
For somebody that talks about his looks all the time, you shouldn't have no Cam.
No, you shouldn't. Also, Jimmy, if you pull a Joe Budden, and make an OnlyFans, I will come to Atlanta and kill you. I just want that to be known.
Right? So
Jimmy makes an OnlyFans.
Go to murdering.
Man, bro.
Everything. It's so fast to go to it. What is wrong with you?
What would you do? What would you do?
Bro, me and Crusher pulled with the minigun and the 45. Well, we gotta end him now.
You can't sell Pepsi Max. It's
Go
not.
quick to killing, bro. Calm down.
It's not Kylie Jenner. You can't sell Pepsi Max.
Jimmy's like warring with the entire left tube at this point, and now he wants
I'm
to.
not warring with any. Yo, okay.
Oh, here it goes. Here we go,
bro.
Jimmy, why do you hate Brett so much?
Why, Jesse? Why?
Jimmy, just leave social media. Everyone else handle your account just like Contra, you know?
Jimmy,
give your account to Julian,
this type of work.
who's also you.
Jimmy, go to a right-wing publication and do an interview.
Oh,
that's your only course of action now.
No.
I know the perfect person to go interview with.
Hell no, nigga. I know who you're gonna bring up. No, fuck you.
Who I'm gonna say?
You're gonna say
That's
Destiny
crazy.
Peterson.
What we do is we get Crusher. What we do is we get Crusher to pose us as a right winger, and we get him to do the interview, and we pose him as a right winger side.
He's gonna say Jesse Lee Peterson or Tim Black. He's gonna say one of those two.
Amazing.
Jimmy, so go on, Jesse. Actually, no. You should go on Jesse Lee Peterson show. You should actually. That would probably be.
That would be incredible.
Jimmy, do you think you could defeat Destiny now that he's weakened? He's in his
weakened state.
Wait, what? Wait,
now that Destiny's in his weakened state, do you think
people
you could
want me
defeat
to?
Oh my God!
Okay, so my thing is, what would I debate Destiny about? There's nothing to debate Destiny about. There's no So here's the thing, right? There's no specific thing I've seen in Destiny that
incest hentai.
That like he's in okay. So hold up for a second. So in general, right? No, I'm trying to be as like sensible as possible. So in general.
Cooperatives.
But like everybody's already argued with him, and I agree with the people who've already argued with him, and he says those people are fucking wrong. So if I argue with him, he's gonna say
stock buybacks.
Stock buybacks. I mean, bro,
for stock buyback. I'm being very serious. I'm giving you
bro,
actual
like
options.
Again, it's the same thing. Motherfucking Ben Bird just argued with him about stock buybacks, and he said the right thing. And if I do that, like, bro, Destiny has been fucking bulldozing against leftists for the past 3 months. He's been bulldozing against leftists saying wrong shit for the past 3 months. So there's no reason why someone not as versed in anything as I am should approach and try and argue with him.
You might end up calling you a subhuman.
That's the correct take, to be honest.
Huh?
If you're lucky, you might end up calling you a subhuman.
You don't fight with people that are.
But yeah, that's not
I have no idea what Peter Coffin was doing arguing with Destiny.
like
Jimmy,
no, because
if you're lucky, Destiny might call you a subhuman.
No, because if he does that, I'm gonna call him. If he does that, I'm gonna call him a rat. I was about.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, "Why derailing?"
I was about to use the insult that he would have called me if like I got into an argument with him. Because if he called me a subhuman, I would have immediately drawn that to race, and that opens up a whole new and you know me. When it gets time to be racist, bro. When it gets time for the racial humor, I'm a different type of animal. I grew up on 4chan. I grew up on 4chan. G.
Hey, Jimmy, man's walking by a black person in the street. Black man goes to the black person. What you doing? The black person just says, just hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh no!
I bet if a white person walked up to you and called you a tree ornament, you wouldn't even know why. You wouldn't even know why. You would just be like, tree ornament.
Yo, in all honesty, that's very, very funny to me.
But that's also
very funny. You wouldn't even know why. You'd sit there puzzled like, but I'm human. The white man says, what?
You wouldn't even know why. Like I am aware of racism that you people don't even see. I'm aware of racism that you people like the racism that like you thought the racism you thought died with Jim Crow, bro. The racism like the old like that shit is alive and well in the bowels of the internet. Niggas are still talking like that. Niggas still talk and speak like that freely.
Equal opportunity racism. Why don't you put a white person in water?
What do you say?
Because why don't you put white people in water?
Why? Why not?
They get soggy when they're wet.
Oh my gosh, they get soggy when they're wet.
She, I'm gonna lynch you.
Bro.
Mick motherfucker.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
Jimmy, become friends with Vosh, debate Destiny, lose, and give Vosh the motivation he needs to defeat Destiny once and for all.
Oh no! Nano's not become a jobber in anyone.
I'm not being a Java in anyone's anime, dog.
If you go on, Econ's gonna have to save you. Like here's
the thing, right? Here's the thing. If I job, because I'll do the job. Don't get me wrong. I'll definitely do the job. I have no problem doing the business. But if I do, I need to be guaranteed a title shot at something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. That makes sense.
I have to be guaranteed some kind of title shot.
What we need to do is
you gotta beat that nigga ass.
What we need to do is we need to put Econ and Digibro in against Destiny and watch Econ turn on Digibro because he says something stupid.
He turns heel.
No, we need Jimmy, Econ, and Digi.
Heel turn.
Yeah, that would take 5 hours to like unpack one claim. I'm not for it.
Honestly, nothing's really gained from any of you guys debating Destiny.
I feel like there's people in the chat who still don't know what I meant by tree ornament. It means you hang from trees, black people. It means you hang from trees. It means you hang from trees.
Yeah, man, just hanging like
lynch
Baloo
you
in the jungle book. Just hanging. You're just
that's what the joke is. You get it?
On the branch.
You get it? Tree ornament.
Okay, I just had a bad life.
It's a fucked up joke. It's a really fucked up joke.
I don't think it's that hard to get, honestly.
Don't wait till I get the serial killer joke.
People are throwing up question marks in chat still.
I can't believe
because some of us didn't grow up in anonymous message boards, alright?
Don't wait till I get into the serial killer jokes.
People didn't grow up in deeply racist areas.
Yeah, that is true. My thing is, so racism to me is so weird. Like racism in any way,
crazy, bro.
Because okay, so I remember when I was a wee youngin. This is back in London time, back in the early days in I Know's life.
Back on the end.
I remember some little white gal said to me, she said, "Jimmy, you're black," and I said, "Yeah, but I'm Nigerian." Like no, I didn't say yeah. Like, cause I remember like a week ago or something, my dad told me if someone ever says you're black, clarify them and say that you're Nigerian. So like as a child, you know, I was just doing what my dad did, what my dad said. So she said, like, you're black. And I'm like, no, I'm Nigerian. She's like, no, you're black. And I'm like, no, I'm Nigerian. Like, no, you're black. Like, no, I'm not. Like, that was the first time in my life I had ever understood. What? Like, it was the first time that I would ever know that, these white people are fucking tripping. Like, they are tripping, dog. They will refuse anything. Like, and they teach it to them from early. Same as how they have to teach us from early that we have to fight that shit. So
I didn't go to school, so I didn't learn all that.
Anyway, so fast forward. Yeah,
didn't go to clan school.
Fast forward, yeah. Most of my childhood and my adolescent life, I grew up in Africa. And there, racism isn't really like what you want to know. What's a thing in Africa? Colorism. Colorism is definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Colorism is a big old thing in Africa, but racism not so much when everybody is black. You know, it's not that big a deal when most of the people look like you. You know, that's one of the things I got to grow up without. I got to grow up living in a world where I felt normal. You know what I mean? And that's something black people in America are robbed of. That's something black people in America are absolutely robbed of. I got to grow up my whole childhood. That's one thing now that I look back on, everything back of all the bullshit that happened to me, regardless of like my bullying and everyone, all that is left of, you know, deep inflicted traumas and all my fucking actions to this day. But the most important thing though is that I got to feel normal. I didn't feel like an outsider on a basis of just who I existed as, you know? Maybe in some other ways, as far as what I was interested in and just the way I behaved. But as far as my identity, as far as my blackness, not really. Because we're all African there. Come to America now. This thing is a bit mad. Because you don't feel normal here, G. As a black person, you do not feel normal in this country. You feel like you're on display all the time. You feel like you're either there to not do something bad or to do something bad. And
you should go to an Asian country.
I feel that.
That feeling's
it feels like bigger. The expectation is you need to keep in your place, or the expectation is, oh yeah, you would do that, isn't it? You don't get to feel
God forbid you try to be a regular
Yeah, exactly. God forbid you try to be a fucking human being with emotions and thoughts and processes about any fucking thing. And God forbid you don't want to get boiled down to the overall marginalized groups. Yes, I'm marginalized, thank you very much, but I can think and speak for myself. And there are ways of speaking.
I hear that, bro.
There are ways of
Not your shield, by the way.
Not your fucking shield, by the way. Brother, I'm willing to resurrect it. Nowadays,
hey man,
brother,
y'all niggas stop bringing up old shit. Stop bringing up old shit. Niggas trying to get better. Shut the fuck up.
You're already at war with this. You're already at war with that, Brett.
Stop bringing that dumb shit
Jimmy's
up.
just gonna become Digi Bro /
Man,
Destiny. Now you're gonna fight both left and right simultaneously.
It's wild because I'm actually I really do have the angel and the demon on my shoulder right now. Should I go back to that old not your shield style rhetoric, or should because what I'm trying to get at, right? The point I'm trying to make, like the point I'm trying to make, regardless of anything, is that there are ways in which people with the right intentions view black people that make us feel like you don't really view us as people. And we don't need to tell you these things because you're aware. You know when you do it. You know when you do it because every time we call you out on it, you're very receptive and you correct yourselves. But the problem is you keep doing it. You keep doing it. It becomes a normal part of the dogma to just treat, black people are gonna react this way to this kind of content. So we're not just let's demonize anybody who watches that. What? Bro, I watch that. Like, you're telling me I don't exist. You're erasing me now. You're erasing the ones of me. Like, you want to know what you're telling me? You're telling me you think that if I am black and I'm engaging in this, there's something wrong with me. That's the first thing that you're making me feel. That's just the first idea that's coming to mind. You know? These are just ideas that pop up. That's the reason why you have black people that fucking show up in these movements that are reactionary as fuck. Because they get pushed away by self-righteous bumbleclats like you.
Yo, can we talk about that weird fad? Can we talk about that weird fad on Twitter where it's like people were like switching out the scope out to mana or whatever the fuck and like using bumbleclats instead?
Yeah, no man, look man,
That's annoying.
Look man, they did it to Ghana, now they're doing it to Jamaica. It's
really annoying.
It's literally like the process of the transatlantic slave trade. You want to know something? You want to know what I call it? You want to know what I call the world we live in today? I call it the feeling I get of just being what we are, brothers. I call it transatlantic stress disorder. That's what this is.
Boy.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
This is transatlantic stress disorder, dog. Because
listen to me.
We on some dear white people shit right now.
Hold on. Jimmy, listen to me. Write the book, copyright it, sell it now.
Yeah.
This is like that's what this is, dog. We're all living through it. Because it doesn't just affect Americans. It doesn't just affect like people in the Caribbean. It's everyone who was part of that whole triangular trade, from the Brits to the bits down in Africa. It's the same. I have a song coming out about this very soon.
A song?
Damn.
Alien.
Content?
No, that's what's like so pernicious about this sort of thing because it's ubiquitous. You know, it's so ingrained in you like from birth that like you don't notice it. You know, and then like when someone brings it up to you, you're like, no, not me. It's like, yes, you. Like I gotta like feed you the medicine.
Zen, as a fellow alternative black boy. You too.
Alternative black boy, I'm here for.
And don't call it that shit.
Nigga, yes, that's what we're gonna call it, dog.
Don't fucking call it that.
That's what we're gonna call it,
That's
dog.
enough when you start talking about black nerds. Now we're talking about alt blacks. Okay.
What about new blacks?
Hotep Nation in the house.
Chill, bro.
Anyway. So, boy, like guys like us. Unlike a guy like us, end up down. We get dragged into the same very stupid shit that the white people get fucked up with, bro. We get dragged into the same stupid Nazi bullshit because the only places we find solace amongst our world of fakery and cultivated Negro identity that we can find peace and solace is in our anime cartoons and hentai boobies that we go and talk about on very fucking forums.
Your boobies, not mine, please.
Like we go and talk about these things on really weird places. We connect with people who, in some cases, are really racist. Wow, why am I rhyming? What is happening? Fucking hell, Jesus Christ! I feel like someone put a spell on my fucking brain or some shit. I should be writing bars. I should be right back. I should be.
Jimmy, so I was actually bullshitting through this conversation. I've really not been paid. I've been playing a game. I should have realized something. Again, you have to think of like Ben saying like thoughts on every. You have to think of them as the pipeline. You can't think of them as people trying to bring people into left too. Yeah, they technically do that, but it's more logical if you Ben Saint as someone who's like, hey, you're left now, right? You're on the left wing, right? Well, let me show you.
Ben Saint is not a consolidator.
You mean Jack Saint?
Ben Saint doesn't. Sorry, Jack Saint. I know I'm saying Ben Saint. Sorry, but if you Jack Saint essentially is someone who takes someone who's already left and starts to show them how the system is trying to make them right, or how it's essentially showing like propaganda and stuff like that. He's essentially part of the pipeline. Vosh and Pig Punch are the beginning of that pipeline.
Here's
they
what
are
it is.
further pieces in it.
Here's a good compartmental.
Yeah.
It's either the Pied Piper or the Consolidator. Pied Piper is Vosh. Consolidator is Thought Slime and Jack Saint.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, that's the thing.
Because Vosh literally sends people to ContraPoints. He's constantly mentioning the videos, constantly people to watch that. So he's essentially trying to send them to her.
Bro,
and
guys,
she'll start being less toxic.
Just because we're all, like I keep saying, just because we're all in this together doesn't mean we all have to do this together.
I feel it.
Jimmy, but like again, what you wrote there kind of like makes it seem like Jack Saint doesn't have like, I guess, value to this thing, even though he does. Like that's what's gonna get misconstrued as. Technically, that's not what you were saying, but the internet, people don't understand context.
No. Jack Saint doesn't like the idea of being like less than Vosh in any way.
No, a lot of the left, a lot of the left hates Vosh. Like they view Vosh as one of the worst people because he says the stuff no one wants to say. And it's not always necessary. But sometimes
what I feel
people view Vosh as a reactionary.
He is, but we need a reactionary left to get the people to come to the left.
Okay, let's
need someone to react to the bullshit the right does.
What the fuck are you talking? Fox is okay.
Define reactionary.
So no, I'm not because I'm not dignifying that. I'm not dignifying that response because
listen, the point is that we shouldn't be raising up some of these people on the left. That's the point. They're not the best representatives.
Exactly. Like to dignify the whole define reactionary thing with a response would be to say, the act of Vosh being an abrasive figure who talks about his ideas in a way that sometimes clashes with the established dogma of the left. Like the fact that he's someone who does that from a position of the left, trying to help us, not even in a stupid Dave Rubin way where he's like, wink, wink, I'm on the left, guys. No, he's actually with us, guys. Like the fact that gets regarded as reactionary and even has to be defended as not being reactionary means there's something wrong with us. It means there's a sickness here. Sheem, that's the sickness. That's the problem. That's the issue.
Sorry,
that
I disconnected.
Well, I mean, hey, bro, you can watch it on the stream when it fucking goes up.
The VOD exists, so
the VOD exists.
Yeah, bro, we got the run back. Don't worry.
No, so the important thing to really always be aware of is that we're not going to always have the same. Not necessarily, we all have the same interests in mind, but we're not always going to have the same approach
ethics,
or
yes,
ethic, or
Jimmy,
even the same ethics about it. So
wait, I don't think we even do have the same interests in mind necessarily.
Okay, please.
Well, I mean, I don't want to talk about Vosh specifically because I don't really watch much of his shit, but I mean, there are communities of really racist ass Nazbols and shit.
Who's talking about?
Okay, Nazbols don't count as lefties.
Oh, no, Matt, what you're doing right now is again conflating what you just
I'm
did
not.
was...
No, I'm not trying to conflate. That's why I specifically.
So
Finish your point.
I'm not talking about the fucking Nas balls. No one likes the Nas balls. They're Nazis, nigga. When I say punch a Nazi, that includes the niggas that even think it's cool to keep a socialist government included. I mean, punch a fucking Nazi. All right? That also includes the ones who think it's cool to keep the fucking, planet green. Fuck them niggas too, if they're still a Nazi. Eco-fascists get the bullet. Fucking, eco-fascists get the bullet. Racist socialists get the bullet. Yes, we're all in agreement there. But
I downloaded.
Jimmy talking about share the same goals in the short term.
Yeah,
we cannot
not necessarily in the long term.
And let's achieve the short-term goal and disband later.
The broader point I was getting at was that anti-capitalism in and of itself, I don't think is it's a goal that we all ostensibly share, but there's enough variation in that I think you can very much still be opposed to somebody in general, even if they share.
No, there's a lot of variation, but I think that
So Matt, yes, I agree. Because it's such a massive tent, being against capital, it's going to mean there's a lot of different people who think a lot of different things. And here's the problem with here's the thing. The issue at hand though isn't the things that we disagree with that aren't capitalism. The issue at hand is capitalism. The issue that we are all in agreement needs to change is capitalism. That means, since it's something that we can all unilaterally agree is a factor, it's a lowest common denominator as to all of our issues. We can agree on that. We can also agree that it should be the first thing we discuss and finish and get done before we approach the rest of this bullshit that we don't agree on. That's the reason why I feel like it's cool to have a big tent, even though it's going to put us at odds with people later. Yes, it's fine with being at odds with people later. You want to know why? Because that's politics. That's literally life. That's humanity.
Jimmy, it's better because it's probably better for you as an anarcho-communist to fight against someone who's maybe a tanky than to have to fight against Nazis.
Yeah.
Because arguments are not going to defend even common.
Here's the point I was trying to make before, because okay, sure. Maybe everything will be dismantled among this leftist coalition sooner or later. But I feel like at the point where that dismantling comes to pass, we will generally be in a better place. So I'd rather have that happen than have the status quo continue.
So what makes people like Nate, like the alt-right strongest, because they also have people like Nate funneling them down the alt-right rabbit hole.
Who's Nate?
Best guy ever.
Because of the 4chan thing, I get it.
4chan
ever alt-right.
He's not alt-right, but
he's technically a libertarian. There's some issues there.
Right, but people...
We're not going to go into that right now because I don't want to cause any drama. A better example of Ben Shapiro, even though he advocates for fascists who want to kill Jews, and he's Jewish.
What? Who?
Ben Shapiro advocates for fascists.
Wait, does he talk about Ben Shapiro?
I'm trying to use a better example instead of Nate because I don't want
Okay,
Ben
yeah, Nate is very debatable. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about Nate. I'm talking about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro advocates for fascists.
I understand.
He gets neoconservatives to start getting more towards actual fascism.
No, definitely Ben Shapiro. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I said. Nate has issues. He's not a person who would fall there. He's he has some libertarian values that can be used for the pipeline, but it's not perfect there. There's issues.
Nate has a way to get from normal person to Ben Shapiro, if you get me.
It might happen for 1 in 100 people. I don't think that he's... Look, Nate is far from explicitly political, so I don't think that his usefulness in the pipeline would be
Oh, no, it's not even up there. It's 0.001% of
yeah, exactly. So I don't even think it's worth talking about.
It isn't. That's not for someone like Ben Shapiro who's actually of actual possibilities.
Ben Shapiro's sister's hot as fuck.
Why are you horny?
Ben Shapiro's sister's nudes got leaked. Did you not see that?
Oh my goodness.
So what's everyone talking about? What's everyone on now? What are we talking about?
Ben Shapiro's
nothing at all.
Sister.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Well,
like
Vince
an order.
Carter also has some
I
cool
feel
We
like
should
we're
talk
all,
about.
I feel like we're all, I feel like we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Let's have a really,
man.
let's have a really weird, let's have a really weird discussion.
Let's do
Not
it.
saying
No,
that.
about anime.
No,
Let's
no,
talk-
no, it's
I
not
want
about
to know about what.
no.
What the
this- Let's have a weird, let's have a weird discussion, guys.
Oh, here we go.
We're going somewhere. We're going
About to
somewhere.
Misogyny.
Where-
Oh, I'm throwing a curveball tonight,
Yeah,
guys.
nah, Jimmy.
I'm
Yo,
throwing a curveball. I'm throwing a curveball.
Throwing a
Guys.
curveball. What if
Here
you
we
respected
go.
me?
Guys,
Wouldn't that be
let's
cool?
talk about. Let's talk
You
about.
bring up incels, I'm about to leave.
Let's talk about.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's hear it. Let's
Yeah,
hear it.
yeah.
you
Actually,
imagine?
everyone's actually a volcel in certain ways, not incel.
Oh my god.
What if incels
Let's
chose-
hear it. Nah, let's hear what Jimmy
Sexual, I
has to
can't,
say.
I'm
bro.
asexual. I can't be an incel.
Let Jimmy speak, man. Let
Oh my
Jimmy speak.
god.
Let's talk about dick size.
Okay,
Let's-
cool. So
Ah,
I'm
man.
going
You
to
just saw my
the
tweet.
server now.
Someone just left.
Hey, look,
I
I'm
just said something about him.
So
6.5 inches. So I'm
let's
brown.
talk about dick. Let's talk about
3
dick
inches
size.
is average.
Let's talk about.
Oh no, it's locked. Drag me in.
Let's talk about dick
Jimmy, you just saw my tweet.
Yeah, nah, guys, you can't escape. You can't escape this discussion. You can't escape it. So
Yo, I'm all for it.
I-
Let's go.
I think this is.
Somebody else
this
is
is.
though.
I think this is an important topic that no one's willing to approach. That is the root of a lot of male neuroses.
It's because no one wants to come
And you know what? I'm here for the discussion. Let's go.
I feel it. I feel it.
Let's get
And I think-
horny.
and I think
Let's get
I get where you're coming from. Let's
I
talk
think
about
this
it.
is a historic thing that has played into racism. That has played in.
Oh my god.
That has played. No.
No, let him speak. He's right. He's absolutely right. Let him speak.
This is a historic thing that has not only played into racism, it's played into factors of masculinity. It's dick size is such an important, like, it's such a multifaceted fucking issue.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, like, and it's so important, and no one fucking talks about it. And anytime it's brought up, it's brought up as a fucking joke. And I think that
I think it's important that we should even like examine, not even talk about it, but let's like think about like everyone groaned when Nino brought up like the racism aspect, because like he was absolutely right. I don't know why anyone groaned about that.
It's right, but
because we know what the problem is.
Don't-
It's like I get that this is
Oh
for the
no,
stream.
no, you
Then I
groaned.
get
No,
this
no,
is for
no.
the stream, but
You
we don't know what
groaned.
he's talking about,
You
and we don't want to
groaned.
go back there.
Exactly. You groaned not because you disagree with it. You groaned because you don't want to think about it, because you know it's there. You know it's there.
Everything goes back into racism.
It's like it
itch.
ties into black man.
It's like a
against us and
bad
trying to kill us. There's a
fucking
lot of
itch you
stuff I
ain't
just
been
don't wanna go back
scratching.
Listen,
No.
$13,000 gets you the operation you deserve. Love yourself, Kings.
13,000.
13,000. Jesus
God,
Christ.
wait,
Jesus
is that how much that should cost?
Yup.
I mean, there's a cheap one that costs $1,000, but you're not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. No
Yo,
way.
Jesse is the cheap way.
Actually, how much?
What?
How much
Medieval
is that?
means.
Will I even feel it the same anymore?
No.
When do you
You won't feel a
Who
thing.
cares? As long as the other person enjoys it.
No, I mean, that's a point. Actually, the 1,000 method is what a lot of porn stars do. If you want me to explain this, I will. But you know,
Say 1,000.
Is it the dick?
okay.
pump?
Essentially,
Go on.
okay, fine. To explain this, it's really horrible. Essentially, what they do is they have a doctor go there to the, your private, right? There is a muscle that constricts you, right? That constricts, the thing. If you cut that muscle, you automatically gain 2 inches, but you can never become fully hard ever again. It will only get like 70% there. Then that's why you look a lot of porn.
Oh my
the porn
God.
star isn't hard. They always look like there's something's a little off. It's because they've done that thing where they cut that muscle that fully constricts it.
It's
So
just
they only
like
get
one for
70%
all.
hard.
It's just like one for all.
So that's why a lot of the, so long as
Like I said.
oh my god,
That's crazy.
Like I said,
My Hero Academia is a big bad
get the
fan.
operation you deserve. Love yourself, King.
I hope this discussion has been as illuminating for y'all
Yeah,
as it has been for me.
You
It's
can
the
reach
most
full
of the
power,
ocean, not
but
the
you may
size of
never
the
fight
boat.
again.
Actually, didn't Elliot Roger write about dick sizes?
Man,
Man,
you know what? thinking about it, I get why my stream is popular. Amongst the small amount of people that it's popular with. I get why.
I mean, Jimmy, you used to talk about anime. You used to like talk about anime like community drama. Now we've come to politics and dick size. So hey,
Let's continue the conversation though. This is.
The thing is, I think the reason why my stream is popular is because I can talk about anything. And
sure.
Because I can talk about anything. Because there's such a wide variety of topics that people on the internet, like the internet's such a. When I was growing up, the internet felt infinite. The internet felt like I couldn't see. It felt like a pool I couldn't see the end of. It felt like an ocean. It felt like I was like wading through a massive amount of just new information, and it felt bright. And you know, I still can't see the end of it now, but the water's gotten a lot murkier. The water isn't as clear as it used to be. It doesn't feel as clean, and it feels like it smells a lot now.
You know it's got E. coli.
It's those Chinese polluting.
Yeah, man. Wow, it's the Chinese pollution. That's a very good metaphor. That's a very beautiful metaphor. Thank you very much.
Because they're dick sizes. They just want to pollute everyone else, so they die.
There you go.
And you have the biggest dick.
Damn. That's a crazy plan, but why not just get the surgery and love themselves? This is what control freaks send him over there.
Seriously.
Some folks are gonna get the surgery, and they're gonna realize that it's not enough.
I mean, they're not.
Some folks are gonna get the surgery, and they're gonna realize that it's not enough.
Hey, look, I just have to lose weight. I'm honest, so I'm happy.
Like they're gonna realize that even with we're all feeding into it. What we're doing right now. The fact that we're turning dicks into only a joke. The fact that the male penis has been the only this is because why must it be only regarded as some kind of disgusting joke that's only an aberrant measure that we only talk about?
Oh, fine. Once the joke's about vagina, that's fine. The vagina only has one. The cervix is the only part with the nerve ending. You happy now?
Oh my god!
No, but I feel like
discussion about vaginas would get like this though.
I feel like the difference between a discussion about the political influence of the vagina over the penis is that. Oh wow, this is so wild, and I feel like I'm breaking philosophical ground here because I'm high as fuck.
You get a vagina in here before you
No.
You're definitely high, Jimmy.
No. Chill. Hold on. Let me finish this point. I feel like the difference in those two political dynamics is that because of the varying nature of the male member, it has rendered the history of such in regards to race and class and just in general the idea of colonialism, classism, racism, sexism, all those things packed into that, whilst the only thing necessarily attached to the vagina is sexism because it's an object. Because it's an object.
So my question is, so what the fuck? What's your point?
I mean, actually, vaginas can actually vary in size.
No, I'm asking Jimmy, like, not on some like,
The point here is the penis is such a important motivator in a lot of ways for such like base neuroses around male chauvinism. It's because it like the insecurity of not having such has led men insane. There's writings about
it leads them to cut a muscle to make it grow 2 inches. Like
first of all,
bro, we literally just spoke
that's insane.
Is my mic loud?
Yeah.
My mic like so loud.
Yeah, like
I don't know how to lower it down because I'm on these headphones.
Oh, what's up, Ywach? We talking about some really bad shit right now. Your young ears are too fragile to hear this.
I mean, we can just shift to like how 9/11 was an inside job if you want.
Like,
ourselves just.
So your argument is that
the politics of the male penis like range from white people always having an inherent like fear and like just okay, not white people, white men having an inherent fear and inherent hatred just of the idea of black men with white women. Like, bro, I think the reason why a lot of people don't necessarily even understand what I'm talking about is because they haven't spent any time on 4chan. Because even though 4chan isn't even okay, let me please let me land. Let me land. Even though 4chan isn't necessarily like the majority even though it's not the majority of humankind, right? What you do see there is at least a window into the actual like
no, I totally get it. Like, because it's like you peer into like these sort of like base reactions,
exactly,
and like these are the stuff that people will never say.
And the thing is,
they keep it under so many wraps.
The reason is because what folks like to refuse to realize about 4chan and about these dark places on the internet where people say such terrible things is you're on there with people who you can log off and walk around, people who you can walk down the street and have a nice conversation with. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about anyone around you. Even the ones who are holed up in their rooms all the time, they might just leave someday and you might just talk to them randomly and you might just randomly change their life. Who knows if you're nice to them enough.
Yo,
I don't know. It would
the
be
things
nice.
that people say in private, they're completely different people. I had a friend who goes to my school who was calling me a nigger in private. Like, dude, shit is crazy. Like, online and in private, like when you're anonymous.
I've said this. There's homies who I'm still friends with on YouTube. Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yo, it's scary. That's why I don't do the gossip. I try to leave it out.
Like same here. Like I tried to okay, so I tried to it's 9:15. I have a few alarms that I set to let me know what time is when. So
because time's an illusion when you're higher
now. Yeah, so there's certain things that I say that get expropriated as being, whoa, why the fuck would you say that? And the only reason I let those things be known is because these may not be my positions, like directly my positions. I may be joking about them, but they're things that kick around in my head, you know? They're things that kick around in my head, and they're things they're things that I would like other people to lay an idea on, and not to just approach it with bad faith critique. And I think
what's funny.
I mean, if we talk about sizes and starting wars, I mean, boob size is catching up to dick size now.
Okay, well that's
cool. Oh no, also right, butt size. No, butt size is actually a better example of that.
I think for women, butt size is definitely. Butt size is definitely like butt size and boob size have always been like those are the different like dynamics, but like that is the difference. There is that that's something that is visible directly. On men, it's concealed because you don't know what a dude's dick looks like. Right. It's always a question.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely an X factor.
There's always a question. But the thing is, the ones who are big enough, you know. Obviously, they might have a little hog showing in their trousers sometimes, but at the end of the day, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do.
He might be wearing a cup, but also like, Jimmy. I remember I had like this Hispanic girl with my friend, and she was trying to date this like apparently like this attractive white dude, and she essentially like didn't even go further because after they had sex, she found that he had like I think it was like a 3 or 4 incher.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, it was really attractive, but because he wasn't up to standard, she essentially just dropped him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like but the thing is but the thing is I think the fact that that discussion is not had, and the fact that more people need to accept that is them, and that maybe there should be like a discussion had about that. You know?
Didn't Eddie Roger write about his size of his name?
Oh no,
so
that's not even like the discussion I want to like place the whole dick size thing around, because that's
he had a lot of issues.
like
he
placing
it approach a woman, so he was never gonna have sex.
Placing it on the whole what do women think of it is like that's for a woman. I feel like women need to have their own discussion about penis size, but men, what we can say is there's a historical factor, there's a cultural factor, and there is a deep psychological factor. A deep psychological factor that affects so many levels of neuroses and I know the thing is, I've been squaring in on that word. I've said it a lot, neuroses, because it's neurotic. That it's this feeling that you're not good enough, right? It's this feeling that you don't know whether, but the thing is, you don't know at the end of the day.
Especially
if you don't
in
necessarily
all of
get to
the
use
net, in all of the movies, in all of the TVs, seeing somebody getting somebody stolen from them and shit like that. It's only magnified and it's only amplified and made fucking worse. So niggas is literally losing their motherfucking minds over this dumbass shit. It's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, because dudes lose their girls over dick size. Dudes lose their women over dick size all the time, and I think this.
Didn't you just say you were gonna turn this in?
Yeah, no. I'm
No.
Listen.
When I said it, I was talking about the way that men end up losing their brain because of the fear of it, bro.
And I'm saying, no. What I was trying to square it to is that it happens. So it's a fear that exists, and it's also a neuroses that carries over. If it's happened to you, that's a kind of emasculation that doesn't go away, and it kind of just it leads to almost a death cultish way of looking at the world, which is what leads you down the whole incel rabbit hole. That's just an important way to look at it. And hey, bro, it's never happened to me, and I don't think I have to. I don't think I have to put it out there because mainly because I've never had a girlfriend. I've never had a girlfriend, and I'm a virgin.
Jimmy. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as genuinely as I can.
Those statements are cap. They're both cap. They're both cap. You know why? All right. You and I both.
Let me be extremely candid here. Okay, my size is about average, right? Mm-hmm. But even knowing that, I still had those insecurities. I looked it up. I literally measured it. Mm-hmm. And it's like I had those insecurities. I was thinking about it all the time. And then when I was having sex, I was like, "Oh, are they liking it?" It's like, have they been what are their standards? Like, have they had men that were bigger than me? It's like, these are the things that were going through my mind,
But okay, I'm not you. But I'm a virgin. But I can only imagine that you end up realizing that. You end up realizing that at the end of the day, it really is the motion of the ocean, and it really is the.
It's not the size of the boat.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things at play when you do it. It's not what porn tells me.
We loop around this goofy goober ass convo just to get to that point. That is y'all niggas are so silly.
Also, no. So Jimmy, here's the
talk about anime. Talk about
okay, so I hate him so. I hate him so much.
Where is God? Where is God? Where is God?
Yo, fuck you, Cap. Yo, fuck you, Cap.
Can we get girl in here?
This is why.
Cameron,
this is why you are my better half. This is why.
Oh, thank you.
Jimmy.
I feel like we should get a girl in here just to
No, we don't. Also, Jimmy. So the whole joke of the nerve, like the cervix having one nerve ending, is because only a big person can hit it and actually get the girl to feel anything. I was like, that's not really true. Like, if you have 5 inches, you're essentially golden. You don't need more than that. If you have more, hey, you're fine still.
Right. Exactly. So that's exactly why it's the motion of the ocean.
Also, there's girls who will not have sex with you if you're too big. I had a friend who had an 11-inch back in high school, and girls were like, "I will die if I have sex with you."
Let's also be entirely clear that men with even less than 4 inches are entirely valid and beloved and beautiful.
I mean, if your dick's 1 inch, I don't know what you do with that.
I have no idea what they go through because, that must be hell.
If your dick is 1 inch, I'm like, again, I don't know.
The anxiety that I had is like a size one, and oh my god, what they must be going through is just terrible. It's just like a daily ordeal. That's
I'm above average, and I feel like insecure a lot. And I'm like, damn, you have 3 inches. I have no clue how your life is gonna be, bro.
And it's situations it's situations like that where I feel like God really doesn't exist. Cause
also porn.
God really doesn't exist, man. Cause it's like
because niggas have smooth
No,
dicks.
no.
Like
You don't know what they did in their past life.
I mean, Jimmy, you also have to remember there's this thing called circumcision, and sometimes more is taken with what's okay. You don't know this actually. This is something you learn in Catholic.
No, don't talk about that shit.
Oh no, because I'm Catholic. I don't. Look, bro.
You know what I'm talking about right now.
I got circumcised. I never learned to talk about it. So I just,
no. I know some people who like they essentially like they love Catholicism because essentially their parents were like, oh, so this is and so some Catholics have more taken off during the circumcision than what's actually necessary because they don't want their kids to have sex. So some people, their size isn't their actual size. They've had more removed than what was actually necessary.
What?
White.
Yep, that's the thing.
It's like before you
stop you having
That's
sex.
fucking nasty, bro. That's nasty.
So it's like some people, your dick size isn't even natural. It's literally a knife. A doctor with a knife ruins your life.
Well,
so have fun with that, baby.
It's not even just that, but like the skin gives you way more sensitivity. So it's just weird to get rid of it. Like,
oh my God.
That stuff's good for you, and I'm glad I have it.
Yeah, it's good for you. It's very nutritious.
Oh my God!
I've never seen that.
Look, bro. I
What's up, nigga? Assassin's Creed.
No, lesson of the day. You gotta eat dick, bro.
The whole circumcision discussion. That's a discussion. That's
it's just like chicken. I only like the skin.
Niggas get clowned for still having some of their skin that they were born
Jimmy,
with.
Right,
That's
Jimmy. Here's the thing:
crazy.
if we start talking about circumcision, it's going to lead us to anti-Semitism. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, because like that's I mean,
I'm sexual and don't have to worry about this shit.
Because it's a circumcision. Like, oh man, the circumcision discussion is a whole thing that leads back into, as you said,
it's weird.
It gets really weird, and it also leads into like some IRA shit too. Like it gets real bad. Like it's I don't know, man. There's a whole.
I don't hate Jews, but the whole.
There's
fucking baby chick is.
I'm just saying. Like the whole. There's a discussion around
talking about the Jews, right? Can we just give some mental therapy to our brethren out there that might be suffering from this neurosis you were talking about? I think that would be a lot better discussion.
Yeah. As I was saying.
Hey, no, let me say, if you're Jewish, man, be safe out there, bro. There's Nazis.
Yeah, but like that's actually not even a fucking joke. There's really Nazis out there right now, bro. Like, real things. If you're, let me put it this way: if you're Jewish in America, I definitely you have to be militant right now, bro. Please carry a knife. If you don't have the permit to carry, please just at least carry something, dog. Like keep your no. When I say the reason why the reason why I said carry a knife, is okay. Being from the UK, you do learn that like carrying a knife, having a knife as a weapon is a very useful thing because it's a very easily concealable object. People who try to start things with you usually don't notice it when you pull it out. It's not big enough for you to like really reach for, you know. And if you're quick enough, you can actually get something done. Who just texted?
Did you watch that new on Kenny Beats' YouTube channel? He has a series called "Don't Overthink Shit," and then he had this skit in the middle of the episode where this white guy was having a little altercation with a black man, and then he put a screwdriver in his pocket. So ladies, screwdrivers are also an option.
Yeah, screwdrivers are also a very good
screwdriver. And they come in all shapes and sizes.
If you can get an ice pick,
yo, just get like a really big gun and shoot that.
Someone just asked, Cocknot, what does the Irish Republican Army have to do with this? You would be surprised with the connection between the IRA and the circumcision discussion. It's a really it's a fucked up weird.
Yeah, I don't know this. So you can go off.
Wikipedia.
Oh my fucking god! Like from what I've been, like I don't know, man. Like I don't want to get into it because then we're approaching shit that like again it's stuff that it's a known unknown. I know about it, but I know I don't know enough about it to really. I just know that there's a
tradition. I mean, Catholic tradition.
Yeah, Catholic tradition. Huh?
Tradition in younger Ireland, in early Ireland, was pretty much fucked because they were the only place.
For a lot of the reasons why some people would join the IRL was because of some of that like shit. Like that's what like I've been told. Like that's, but I don't know much else about that. Like there is a link.
Also, Jim, if we're still talking about dick size, porn is probably one of the biggest things that makes people feel insecure because it's always like, oh, here's like
y'all niggas need to start reading hentai. Read hentai. Hentai is ethical porn.
It is a
quit porn.
Wait. Ethical?
I mean,
bro,
ethical.
Bro,
ethical.
hentai the worst when it comes to this shit. Shut up. I don't want to hear you. Hentai the worst when it comes to this shit, my nigga. You know this shit, bro.
When it comes
That's
to
one of the main
what?
problems I have with it, bro.
Yeah, but it's cartoonified, so you don't really have to think about it that much.
Motherfucker, nigga, I watch niggas in anime and conventions swear by this shit, my nigga. Fuck out of here.
What Jimmy means is because there's no black people in hentai, he can just like not imagine it's him.
Yeah, he can imagine himself as the dark person that's taking the light-skinned person bitch, right?
What?
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, like, Jimmy, it's funny how this all leads back into the cock holding fetish.
Gosh.
Because
I mean, Nettori exists. Sorry, I should say Nettori exists, so get off my dick.
We're not
what?
doing,
I mean, I like them both.
All right, you know what? Okay, you know what? We've broached the dick discussion.
I'm just saying how it's like a coping mechanism.
I've talked about it enough. I would say, hey guys, if you're suffering from micropenis, get the surgery. Love yourself, King. $13,000. Save up. Start.
Right,
Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. If you save up for a month, if you save up for a year and 1 month, if you save up for a year. You like Yang Gang 2020. You save up for a year and 1 month. You can get the dick surgery.
Get the financing. Get the financing for 24 months. You're Gucci, bro.
Insurance.
All right.
The one time I try to be serious, niggas want to make jokes now.
Oh my god.
Don't worry. I'll see all you motherfuckers in Momo contract.
Oh my god.
All right. On the count of 5, everyone post their sizes. All right.
No.
Let's go. Come on, everyone.
No. What is wrong?
Hey, on the count of 10, everyone post the dick pic. All right. 1, 2, 3.
I do not want no. I don't want any. I'm sweating. I'm calling the police.
I will call the FBI, bro.
Look, it's like a building.
Discord.
It's like a building of trust. Like,
Also,
okay.
Asherton, I don't trust you. You watch Futa Lolly Netorari. What could I expect from you?
Whoa.
That's like what's with all the key.
Hey, Tumblr refugees.
Why are you hacking my account?
Lolly NTR. I didn't even know that was a possible thing.
Not at the
Jesse.
same time.
Bro, it's the internet.
Not at the same time, just like separately.
You just told everybody Ashton's a pedophile.
Whoa.
Oh no, we're not doing this. We're not doing
Okay.
Nope.
This is not a conversation you
We're not
win.
doing this. Not today.
It's not a conversation you want to have.
I mean, bro, the FBI. This is the FBI. Also, I like to say to the FBI, we're joking FBI because this is the FBI's Discord. They actually been monitoring Discord because of pedophilia. So,
the FBI owns Discord, by the way. So hold up with what you're saying in this fucking.
Oh no! Also, Crusher showed me leaked documents showing that Discord's the guy who made Discord.
Bro, what do you mean? Watch what you're saying. We were talking all that anti-Semitic shit earlier.
Wait, the guy who made Discord is what?
But the Discord,
not me.
Wait, no, Jesse, what were you saying? Please.
Oh, I think Crusher showed me documents showing that the people who like essentially own Discord are like known to actually like give their documents to like government agencies and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, they will.
Actually, like Apple tries to go into like a legal battle against you. People who run Discord are like, nah, you can just take that, bro. We don't care.
Yeah, no, you know why?
Be careful what you say here.
Because it's public service, dog. It's public service. They own the servers.
Scary.
Even Google will fight you though, but like Discord just does not fight. They're like, yeah, we're not going to legal battle. We can just take this
discussion later. No worries.
Like we need and you want to know, something. You want to know something. I feel like if everybody who worked at Discord had a say, I don't think they would want that to be company policy. I feel like they would fight against such things like that. Jesse, I feel like
but
if
they
there
work
was more
for Discord, so too bad.
if I feel like if there was some democratization
was a
in the
cooperative.
workplace, huh?
Yo, but what if all them niggas vote together over the documents?
This goes a cooperative?
Oh yeah, no, but Jimmy, here's the thing, right? What if there's 30 black people? And
Oh my God! No, shut up! All right, we're in one of those situations. Unfortunately, we're in one of those situations where we do have a cooperative, and they just so happen to be run by neoliberal pussies. Unfortunate.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Because it's wild though the racists would make a company with black people because they're not like. It's just Destiny truly makes bad analogies, and no one calls him out on it besides Peter Kaufman. Like a lot of his analogies just aren't good.
Like why?
I called them out when they.
Hey, you know what? Okay, let's shift from dick size and move to a much better discussion. So everybody, close your eyes.
Anime.
Everybody, close your eyes. Anime is gonna be involved. Everybody, close your eyes.
Oh my God!
Now imagine.
My eyes are closed.
Imagine, and this goes to you guys.
Imagine if CZ had never been added to anime.
Shush, everybody, shush. This goes out to everyone watching this at home. Close your eyes. Now, all right. Imagine a world where you were allowed to work with a bunch of people who you wanted to work with on whatever project, be it a video game, be it an anime, be it playing a video game, be it watching an anime.
Okay.
Have those, whatever that is, like whatever your idea of just a good society would be, how it would function. Imagine that, and it would just be with the folks who you like. You would have disputes, obviously. You would have challenges of opinion, but at the end of the day, you realize that at a core, you are all fighting for a common cause and a common goal, and you feel good. And there's no one in that community who has no.
No, it's still going on my end.
Nah, it's still going. It's still going.
Okay, stream's still going. All right, cool. We need to make syndicates. We need to group together and function as independent, unilateral governments among each other. That's what we mean by a dictatorship of the proletariat. We need to be multiple dictatorships of the proletariat.
I am a syndicate. Shut up.
Exactly.
Man, when are we gonna talk about anime?
Wait, Cam, you know what, Cam? You're right. Yo, is anime bad? Yo, is anime bad?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, anime's trash. Anime's trash.
Anime is cheeks, bro.
Anime is a piece of garbage. I resent it. All the new animes are garbage, bro. Y'all niggas have
anime been over.
Anime is a concept is washed.
Yes,
animation is washed, bro.
Hayden Jones, Syndicate 9, baby.
Hashtag.
Anime is. Y'all would say anime is washed.
How's this got anything to do with anime? Oh, let me tell you how. Let me tell you how.
Psychopath Season 3 mediocre.
So, in a video game, it's 2018. In a video game, it's 2019. In a video game, it's 2019. Everybody, right? In a video game, it's 2019. This video game's real fun. It's really realistic. Check. So, let me tell you what happens in this video game. So, it's 2019, and the world's spiraling towards a fucking depression soon. It's spiraling towards a really bad economic crash. I don't know. Say this economic crash ends worse than usual. Say instead of it just being papered over by some governmental force that unilaterally agrees to just pass the billionaires over and let them get away with it this time, say people actually take to the streets and things actually change a little bit. Say they burn down the White House and America becomes no longer America, just a new vision of a free land, separate from the constricts of government in general. Say these people now have to come up with their own individual unilateral governments. And have to democratize. That's where we come in, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we come in. This is all a video game. This is all a video game.
None of this
GTA
6.
None of this is gonna happen.
GTA 6. We're leaking GTA 6's plot line.
None of this is gonna happen. It's a video game.
GTA 6, bro. GTA 6.
So this is where we come in. Say there's a bunch of anime fans who, through the power of Bitcoin and Haruhi's blessings, through the power of Bitcoin and Haruhi's blessings, have amassed enough of a fortune to start their own country. And
what would we call
take over the country, bro.
What would we call it?
Like say there's some crusty dusty weebs with enough Bitcoin, ill-gotten Bitcoin money, and Harry Hughes blessing to start their own fucking syndicate in this new world of no longer governmental America, the United States, the disunited states of post-America. So,
nah, nigga, call it cowboy world.
In Nigeria too. In Nigeria too. Yeah. In this video game called Nigeria
this time it's going to be different. Wink.
Oh my gosh. Shut up. So there's a bunch of different
I hate you, Kim.
And then I will fight. Then I will like skirmishing. There's a fucking Tumblr brony alliance. There's like a bunch of crusty bronies and a bunch of Tumblrites got together and decided to make their own army. There's a bunch of really militant video game players, like, and I don't mean racist. I mean just niggas who like just play video games like Call of Duty and shit like all the time.
Melee is the highest
and they actually like form their own like militant alliance. It's almost like it's this weird facsimile of like communism through the eyes of Metal Gear Solid. It's just really crazy. That's how they decide to do it. Then there's the black people who make a unilateral government built through hip hop and fried chicken. Because
what Jimmy? You know there's got to be a Jew state too.
I'm fucking around. I'm sorry. I'm stupid.
By that logic, who's our president, bro?
Who's our president? By that logic, who's our president? This is a video game, by the way. This is all a fucking stupid
GTA 6. This is
GTA
6.
If you say Yang, I will remove you.
Who's our president? There is no president, bitch. This is post-capitalist. This is post-structuralist.
Fine. Who is the leader of the Alliance of Black People?
Who's the leader of the Alliance of Black People?
Who is the chairperson of the Alliance of Black People?
Oh, Clifford Tip Harris, baby.
I hate you, because I literally knew you'd say it.
Clifford Tip Harris, baby.
Can it be Kanye? Can it be Kanye?
No, T.I. Fuck you, it's T.I.
Let it be Kanye so we can get free Yeezys, bro.
No, it's T.I. T.I. is the head of the black people.
Oh, what's T.I. gonna give us? Nothing?
T.I. is gonna teach all the young black men. T.I. is gonna teach all the young black men to talk like scholars. That's what he's gonna teach them.
Okay. I'd rather get a pair of Yeezys.
So in this future otaku society, right? It's not class distinct, it's not race distinct.
Jimmy, look, me and Cameron are gonna go over to Niggerville where they got free Yeezys and Teslas.
Y'all, you know what? I'll visit on the holidays, man. So here in Otakuville. Here in Otakuville.
Oh God! I nearly choked on my water.
What?
I'm sorry.
What? Careful there,
Niggerville, bro. Yeah. Cam, how do you feel about Niggerville, bro?
Niggerville, pretty tight.
How much soul consumed to get this game into fruition? Let it be Killer Mike. You know what? Yeah, the head of the Black Alliance is gonna be Killer Mike. It's Killer Mike.
Okay, so Niggerville has been disbanded.
No. It's not gonna be T.I. It's gonna be Killer Mike. He's gonna be the head of the Black Alliance.
And LP's gonna be
So it's T.I. then LP and Killer Mike band together and kill T.I. and have a overthrow. It's a coup d'etat.
My guy, T.I. can just be a spokesperson.
Yeah, it's a coup d'etat. I love how as soon as I stop talking about dick size, the fucking viewership goes up. Hilarious.
Wow, Jimmy, also T.I. can just be a spokesperson or like communication director or something like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So make like scholars.
What is Candace? No. What is Candace Owens?
Gulag. Infinity Gulag, baby. Infinity Gulag.
Candace Owens.
We're putting in her gas chamber.
Candace Owens.
Putting in her gas chamber.
Gets no. Do you? You're talking to Nino. You're talking to Nino, baby. You're talking to Nino, baby. Candace Owens gets.
So when it's a slavery to racists,
we eat her into the sun.
No.
We sell her as a sex slave to Nazis.
We strip her down. We strip her down to nothing but a tank top and sweatpants. Leave her on the outskirts of the Alliance building.
You said strip her down, bro, and then you asked more clothes. You realized what you were saying was getting. I see you.
When I say strip her down, I mean like take all of her assets away. That's what I mean. Like take everything.
Yeah.
Like
why didn't you just say take her assets away?
because colorful language, bro. Y'all, this is why I hate the modern internet. Fucking, you are waging a war on prose. You're waging a war on thoughtful dialogue. You're waging. I'm fucking around.
Jimmy was like, we clap her cheeks metaphorically.
He's on a soapbox now.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Jimmy.
Yeah, you
Jimmy,
hand all the soap to all the dirty weebs.
Fine. So let me get this straight. So are we putting like? Actually, I can't see this name. The FBI would get pissed at us. So
Dick Cheney.
With these crazy hypotheticals, Jimmy. What happened? What do you actually want to talk about, Jimmy?
It's a video game, bro. It's a video game we're gonna make.
His stuff definitely might be better than mine. This man is on a different tangent going on.
Bro, look, just let us stay on our zone, bro. Also, Jimmy, continue, my guy. Continue about Nigeria 2.0.
All right, sure.
Who's Obasanjo in this situation?
Candace Owens go to punish what?
Is Kanye Obasanjo?
Is Kanye Obasanjo?
Is Jay-Z Buhari?
Wait, no, bro, look, I don't know, no. You guys seem to misunderstand. Whatever happens in the Black Alliance, I'm not part of. I am black, and I definitely have a citizenship with y'all, and I definitely have a passport, but I don't live
so it's like
there.
Israel.
I don't live
where it's
there.
like you have automatic citizenship, you just don't come.
I don't really come. Like, I have automatic citizenship, but I don't come. But I definitely do. I visit on the holidays. I come and definitely. I'm there very frequently. I take.
Is Kanye a bacha?
Is Kanye a bacha? No. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I mean, he's a psychopath and he thinks he knows what the hell he's doing. Yeah, no, that seems like a bacha.
I mean, wouldn't a bacha be Suge Knight?
Oh shit, you're right. He would be a bacha. Oh, I mean, then again, yeah, if we allow him back, because there are probably some black people like T.I. and idiots who will be like, Suge Knight, he's learned his lesson in the white man's prison. Let's let him back and he start killing people again. Yeah, he'd be a bacha.
Oh God, Suge Knight.
Imagine letting Suge Knight. Remember when he had to fight Jinpachi, nigga? It's like that, like just an ancient evil.
Don't break the seal.
Doesn't Jimmy want to smash Candace Owens? No, I don't want to smash Candace Owens. I want Candace Owens to be smashed into pieces. Here's the thing. At one point, I was attracted to Candace Owens, but then she really got stupid. Then she got it got way worse.
Why would you be attracted to Candace Owens?
Cause she's cute, nigga. The fuck? What? The fuck, nigga? She's cute. But the problem is, she kept talking.
Stupid and a Nazi.
Like, that's the thing. She kept she's one of those people who all she had to do to ruin the attraction is just keep talking, just keep saying things, and keep letting your ideas be known. Like, that's how you make yourself ugly. Just keep talking. Like, that's what Candace Owens does. She makes herself.
So you're saying women who speak are ugly?
I said one of those people, not one of those women. See, try and check me, because I don't use gendered language like that. Ooh.
Try and check
you. I don't use gendered language like that. You can't fucking crack me like that, G. We won't in here. But for like all silliness aside, like, yeah, she's one of those people where like all she has to do to like for you to stop being attracted to them is just keep talking. Like, and you know what? I relate hard because I'm one of those people too. I'm definitely one of those people. There's a bad gal who probably met me and were like, he's kind of cute, and I just kept talking and I was just like, yeah, nah.
Jimmy's like, we need to murder the ruling class and communism.
And they were just like, I thought his accent was cute. Oh, I didn't want to hear.
It was all nice till he started talking about his dick size. I don't know why.
He started saying he's a British person who supports the IRA.
You can't just walk up to someone you haven't met before and start talking about
the answer. Communism.
I don't do that though.
He's not a pedophile.
I don't do that. Y'all make me sound crazy. Y'all make me sound crazy. Y'all make me sound wild. What? I don't just walk up to people and talk about.
Make you sound wild. You know what you do on the internet.
No. Cam, he pulls up
every day.
No. He pulls up. No. Cam, he pulls up the Uber. They go inside. He's like, "Yo, give me the aux cord." He starts playing Karl Marx. He starts playing Karl Marx audiobooks. He's like, "There's an audiobook of Das Capital, bro." we're gonna radicalize her at the end of this Uber drive.
I mean, when the homies are over, this nigga put on like, what is it? He'll put on that Kyle nigga. Yeah, what's his name?
I know
bro?
Jimmy actually would show girls Kyle Kalinske.
Yeah, I know he does.
He would. He would. God. I hate
we?
you so much because you would be that person, Jimmy. I feel like you're having sex and Kyle Kalinski's the bad guy. You're like, yeah.
Wait, are you trying to say that I fuck while Kyle Kalinski's playing in the back? I wasn't even paying attention.
It happens.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas are wild. Dude, y'all niggas are making me sound crazy.
Jimmy,
Yo, I wish I could fuck while Kyle Kalinski was playing in the background, bro. That would be fucking baller as fuck. Yo, Kalinski, I'm hitting the bitch in the back like, Kalinski's talking about some. Hey, you know the billionaires, huh?
Booty judge.
Yo.
Jimmy
macaroni noises.
Y'all are going crazy.
Jimmy just hitting it, and then like every couple of minutes, he's like, facts.
Yo, I'm dying. Fucking hell, that would be hilarious. Oh man, I want to do that now. Now I want to mash while
Jimmy, the only person that was. Jimmy,
that sounds like a baller rap lyric. That sounds like a really sick rap lyric.
There's a girl you know whose name starts with a B and ends with an I, and she's the only person who even might let you do that.
We're not. Why are you bringing up? What the?
I didn't say anything, bro.
Nigga,
Move on. Don't engage. Don't engage. Move on.
I'm single.
See, what did you do?
I've never had a
Don't engage with it.
I've never had a girlfriend in my life. I've never had a girlfriend in my life. Never had a girlfriend in my life. Never.
I didn't even say her name. I gave a hint to this man so he knows what I'm talking about.
Hey, but Jimmy, you should try to lose your virginity like that.
What? Yeah, sure. I should definitely try to lose my virginity. Yeah, absolutely.
Lose your virginity.
No, Jimmy's a virgin, bro.
No, he's a virgin.
Yo, he's a virgin, bro. He's not gonna have sex with 20.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe
he's
that.
Never had sex.
Yeah, even if Jimmy had sex, he'd still be a virgin because the mindset. But that's not important to go into.
Y'all niggas consistently bash me, dog.
You want
No, he's right.
Bash me, bro.
No, he's right. Virginity is a choice.
Virginity is definitely a choice, boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a choice.
Don't pull yourself up. Pull yourself up by your meat straps. Pull yourself up by your meat straps, and go find yourself.
Don't make that a hook. Don't make that a hook. Don't sing that again.
What?
Look, guys, if you're an incel and you have sex with an ego, you're still a virgin, bro.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm putting my foot down.
Your meat straps is the hook. When I do that?
That must never run. That can't.
Yo, why? Why?
Impossible. It's impossible. I can't get the clearance.
No, because you know it could.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
The problem, you know it could. That's the worst part. That's the worst part. Pull yourself up by your meat straps. It could. That's the like. I don't want to.
I think pull yourself up by your condoms. Pull yourself up by your trousers. Pull yourself up by your boxers.
Pull yourself up by your meat straps. You know what your meat strap is. You know what your meat strap is,
wrong,
young man.
Are you, Jimmy? I don't like what you're implying here.
Hey,
society.
Bro, you have to, bro. You just have to get up there and talk to her, bro. Be a man. Pull yourself up by your meat strap.
You live in a society, bro.
And talk to a girl.
You live in a society.
That's all you need to do.
No, Jimmy, stop.
You need to be polite.
You're pretty much telling me to masturbate. You know that, right?
You pull yourself up by your meat strap. and not
pull yourself by your meat straps and get a girlfriend and stop being a virgin.
In a figurative sense, guy.
In a video game, bro. In a video game, in a society, bro.
Well, we didn't even get to finish. You guys sidetracked the fuck out of me. I was trying to talk about what the otaku universe is gonna be.
Thing. What do we do to Candace Owen?
I don't know, bro. I'm not part of the Black Nigga. Okay, so in otaku land,
what are you part of, Jimmy?
in otaku land, we are trying to stage a coup against the Nazis. It's otaku versus Nazis, baby. And we forge an alliance with the Metal Gear Bros. We forge an alliance with the hardcore gamer militant Metal Gear Bros. That's what happens.
Where does Shinzo Abe come into this?
Shinzo Abe has been publicly executed by the Japanese delegation.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Where
they executed him for continuously funding lolly porn.
No. Like they did it really cool too. They like chopped his head off with a katana and everything. It was beautiful. It looked like a fucking anime, dog. It looked like a Tarantino.
Nah, bro.
Movie.
It looked like a what's his thing? It looked like a Persona 5 cutscene.
Bro, it looked like the end. It looked like the end of Harakiri, Death of a Samurai. If you've seen that movie, if you know what I'm talking about, it looked like that.
Yeah.
I thought you said Haruhi, Death of a Samurai for a second.
Harakiri, Death of a Samurai.
What happened to
the
Tumblr recording?
For an anime final.
Can we talk about how Jimmy's trying to get us into some Chuny shit?
Yeah, bro. Come
This is definitely some Chuny shit.
Yeah, cause Chuny shit is. I'm telling you, Chuny shit is the root to communism. We need to embrace it to get out of this neoliberal bullshit that we've trapped ourselves in.
I'm hella Chuny, bro.
We need to embrace Chuny in order to let go of this bullshit paradigm we've allowed ourselves to exist in. Have you noticed that the Chuny people, who always allow themselves to be taken up by some flight of fancy, are the only ones who can imagine some kind of better world that we can live in?
Like, about LARPers?
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that one.
So, Jimmy, when you go on dates with these girls, do you wear an eye patch?
Shut up.
And talk about your stand.
Shut up.
Talk about your
I don't
Jimmy
think
doesn't
y'all
go on dates
realize-
with girls.
I don't think you guys realize how much of myself I fucking hide on a day-to-day basis when I'm out and about.
Yo, gal, have you met my stand, Mr. Black and Platinum?
Shut up.
He'll smash you.
Shut up. My stand is called King Kunta, not Mr. Black and Platinum.
Oh, I don't have that anymore.
I'm Mr. Black and Platinum.
No, your stand's called Atlanta to Japan.
Oh yeah, that is true. My stand's called Atlanta to Japan. I got a new one.
That's tight.
No. What's the actual of your stand is Nigeria to Japan.
I thought your stand was called Power.
What? No. They're using one of my own song names to be my stand now. So.
Thing is, Jimmy, he got this much.
Do you know all the Caribbean swear words? I know pussy ras, bomba ras, pussy clot, bomba clot, fussy ute. I know waist ute. I know bomba pussy ras clot. I know bomba fussy ras clot. Basically, you just take certain words and just string them together and like make them a really long bad word. I know fussy. Well, yeah, fussy is a different one. I know I know batty. Yeah, batty boys. That just means gay. But I know, you know something funny? Jamaicans have a multitude of ways to say gay. They have batty, auntie, sissy, chichi, fussy, bitchy. Like there's so many and you have to add man at the end. So auntie man, chichi man, fussy man, like
so.
Chichi,
I'm finished working overtime, so now I can talk for real. You forget fish.
Fish, yes, fish. Fish is there too. Yes, definitely. Wow, there's a lot of Jamaican curse words, bro. It's a very funny, beautiful language.
Listen, I love dancehall music, bro.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna play a song.
No, Jimmy.
While I leave, I'm gonna play a song. Let it play for like 5 minutes, because I'm about to end the stream. So let it play.
Play some proper dancehall, not that trade.
I'm gonna play something to let us out. Tiger. When?
Hey, when?
Hey, poor people, I'm taking a new style about me, Tiger scene. I'm by the way, I want to learn my face scene. Can't not write a style and name way scene. Hey, Patsy and you, gal, Jim. I hear some teeth from close and it's green. I hear some laughing up through of them scene.
Come again.
So to the other day, me go to
Japan.
What kind
of money them spend? Yen.
Again.
Big Ben.
Button up your color, we then call you Spain. So you fit the big badness of my thing. See.
Come again.
So to the other day, Shabbat. See, they have a new tune for me. You know me have a show up a landa. You have one in New York too. You never know but one in Canada. See.
Come again.
5 and 5.
What you call it? 10.
It's a new tune.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Skank.
Big up Radigan from Kiss FM. Big up the New York posse, them. And all the London posse, them. And all the Canadian posse, them. Big up the Japan posse, them. See, come again. Big up the big body girl, them. And all the boom, them. Big up the dancehall man, them. Tell them come a dance and come spin. See, come again. I will be ready lyrics straight. No I'm playing. You want to hear it again? So it nice you and your friend. See, come again. Right now, really whole life, really wild, and I'm gonna watch both. See, and that's why wine guys still from the bottom now. Vindictive feelings. Very nice, you put up your nanny here and say, boo, boo. Call a tiger from the
Alright, so yeah, you got so basically I just realized I think I can keep going while I'm at work if I stay on my phone. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, I'm on my phone now, so I'm gonna sound way worse and you guys are not gonna like it, but I can stay online for way more time. So, how about that? I get to stay online while I do my... Wow, I get to stream while I work, guys! How fun is that? My job is interesting. My job is gonna take... it doesn't take a lot to explain, but my job it's just interesting. I work out... Hey, bro. You do these things for love, bro. You do these things for the love. Does my audio quality sound the same? Because I'm not connected to my mic right now. Huh? Oh, well. I guess that's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well. Yeah, we're still streaming. We definitely are. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna eat some. I'm gonna eat some. Your mic is good. Your mic was fine regardless. Well, I'm just not gonna wear glasses today. I'm just gonna put water in my and go downstairs. You know what? It doesn't matter anyway because I'm about to get back on stream on my mic, and I'm about to choose some mushroom. I'm about to choose some magic mushrooms, guys. So follow me on this Oh no! I just got given the month off. I don't have to go to work for the rest of the month. My boss was just like, I don't need you for the rest of the month, but be back here in December. Be back here in November. I'm like, all right, boy.
Hey, better start asking for that money.
Oh,
Cam, you still here?
Oh boy! I feel like the YouTube viewership just got shut.
Cam, I have stuff I need to do. Please make sure Jimmy doesn't do anything stupid. I'm not gonna be back here until like an hour from now. Please make sure he doesn't do anything stupid that will destroy his life.
Why does everyone go? I'm not that volatile of a fucking person.
Oh, okay, cool. You want to lie to yourself? That's cool. Cam, take care of him. Deuces.
I will also take care of him, because I'm also a Cam.
Is Cam even here?
Yeah, nigga, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I've been here.
All right. What are you doing?
You've been chilling.
Oh, I'm
the
eating.
only reason why I know about the Uyghur stereotype is I had several cousins that are one, and yet I became friends with radical black people. Jokes on them.
Hey yo.
Yeah, well.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it, baby.
Funny how the world works like that. You see, what I was trying to make a point of earlier is that like, okay, so earlier we were talking about in the time where we weren't having discussions on live stream, I guess, we were talking about Tupac. And the thing about Tupac is that he's a figure that really did have a lot. I think I'm very far from my microphone. I'll try
you
to
are,
closer. Yeah. He really did have a lot of radical like politics in his work because of his, his lineage, his connection to people like Assata Shakur, and his lineage in the Black Panther Party, his actual like politics where he actually spoke up against all these things, and the fact that he was really just an art school student who went to Juilliard and was a really like nice guy, but just got wrapped up in a bunch of gang shit and stupidity. Like,
yeah, that guy was in juice.
Tupac's an interesting person because like he's a person who shouldn't have died. Like, really, you look into his life and you look into the stuff he was doing, like, you think he either shouldn't have become as famous as he was, or the fact that he got to that point and became that famous, he shouldn't have died once he got there. Like, his life just
Crusher, my man.
Like, and the thing
you
is,
think like he should have had more security or what?
No, I feel like when you look at Tupac's life, right, and like the shit that happened around him and the people who pushed him in different directions and the shit he did, like, you feel like he should have been smarter about certain shit, and he shouldn't have. Like, you feel like with who he was and with what he rapped about, he shouldn't have gotten into certain shit, and some stuff just doesn't add up to me. Like, hit him up as an entire track.
You should have been a Kendrick Lamar figure, actually.
Making Hit 'em Up doesn't make sense to me from a Tupac, cause like he didn't have confirmation that it was Biggie who did it, and he didn't have like that was the kind of shit, and that's what I mean by he got wrapped up in some stupid shit.
Should have happened with Tupac actually was he should have become a Kendrick figure.
When you say Kendrick figure, could you elaborate on that?
You know kind of how Kendrick is as politicking
Oh, your mic cut off.
You know.
Your mic cut off.
My computer's just fucking up, so it is.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, you know how Kendrick is kind of palatable, like kind of radical. Yeah. His weird Churchill. Like that's what Tupac could have been a prototype to him.
I mean, I guess like all things considered, he still was in some ways. Like not necessarily a prototype, but definitely an inspiration. So it's like I don't know. It's kind of like
Kendrick Lamar to
potato.
Kendrick Lamar to me. Kendrick Lamar to me feels like the codification of Tupac's archetype, because Kendrick Lamar kind of described what Tupac was with his first major album title, A Good Kid in a Mad City.
Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City is the story of young black men who aren't necessarily built about that gang life getting pushed into it.
Mad shit, bro. Mad shit.
Even when they're not necessarily from that, even when they're not from that class distinction. Sometimes, especially when they're not from that class distinction, they feel like they have to like compensate.
Act out.
Yeah, act out in certain ways.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, it's like what you said with that, like you know the one with the kid where it's like, oh, isn't your dad in the mafia? Oh, why don't you have a mansion or whatever?
And it's like, yeah, that's like when people say that shit, that's what makes little kids act out. Is when kids are like, oh, don't your parents do this? Shouldn't you be doing this? And like that's what makes kids act out a turn. When you are of a certain privilege level and people start making judgments about how you should be based on what privilege you have, you start thinking you should be like you internalize it. Hey man, it's a very Hegelian concept. People only gain an understanding of themselves through others. So if others are telling them that they should be behaving a certain way, then they're gonna internalize it and be like, you know what? Maybe I should. You know, you're right. Like why aren't I acting like the baller that I am? Right. That's it. It happens that way.
Oh my god, why are you trying to open, you stupid fucking...
Oh, okay, Jimmy, read your chat. Okay, so you're saying LAPD corruption. You know what? That's another conversation that's another conversation that's heavy, that I don't necessarily know too much about, that I don't want to get into. Because I feel like that conversation would leave me very depressed. Privilege. That's a term a Slav like me doesn't get. Yes, Nikola Nova. You're a Slav. Your people have been put at the short stick for a very long end of history. So have mine. I relate. You know, we have solidarity in that part. But one thing you have that I don't, Mr. Nikola Nova, when you go to countries of empire, maybe not your own nation, maybe not your nation in the far Eastern Europe, because I doubt, because you know, usually I doubt there's any kind of necessary privilege there, but maybe when you could go to other places, the way you are treated on an average day will differ definitely heavily from the way a black person is treated. And those different ways that you are treated, those things you don't even notice because they're not built for you to notice, it may not necessarily be something you're aware is good for you, but it happens and you don't get to choose it. And that's just how it is. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means it happens. And that's how privilege works. And you know what? As a black person, I am definitely privileged in a lot of ways. More so than other black people.
come on.
Mainly on the basis of class. Mainly on the basis of the fact that I am blessed enough to have a family that was able to support me. Something that I can definitely tell you a lot of other people aren't blessed enough to have.
All right, Roger.
Blessing and a curse, Jimmy. Blessing and a curse, because it seems to have caused you as much problems as it has given you as benefits.
I don't know about that one. It definitely causes problems. I'm not sure if it's equal to the benefits it's given.
Well, in my particular case, I agree with you, Zen, but in my particular case, I understand why Crusher would say so.
Oh yeah? How come? I asked that out of genuine curiosity.
We're on stream, Zen.
Yeah, too much personal shit into that one.
Oh boy.
We're on stream, Zen.
No, trust me,
I ain't gonna turn that rock over.
I didn't even know he was on stream.
Nah, we
Oh my god, this computer.
Hey, dumb question. Could I ask you guys a Discord server question?
What's the word?
How do you make a channel only for like specific people?
So what you go into is you have to have a role, and whether or not that role is visible is up to you. But you have to have a role assigned to that particular, either voice chat or text chat. You have to have a role assigned to it, and you have to set the everyone role, meaning everyone who doesn't have this role, to negative, that they cannot connect to it. Then you have to go into the role that you want to connect to it and set that they can connect to it. That in of itself makes it so that only people with that role can see that chat.
I see. Okay. So like go to the @everyone so they can't do things.
What do you mean?
There's a role for everyone who doesn't have a role. Just make it so they can't do things.
Yeah.
I see.
God, this is going on forever, letter, isn't it? Fuck my laptop.
Man, that cereal was fucking good.
Oh yeah,
wow,
cereal,
it must be. Yeah, it is 11 a.m. over there.
Bro,
Yo, so Cam, I watched a video recently. Like the bougie Westerner I am, it's completely changed my perspective on the Hong Kong riots.
Okay. So, your take?
My take. So, I agree with the principle of the Hong Kong riots. I agree with taking it to a brutal oppressor who is stamping a boot down on you and your
So
neighbor.
listen. Just tell me where you did, and let's talk about that.
You're missing the point. There's a few.
Okay.
No time for your shit.
There's a few other things.
Cause to be honest, bro.
Like nigga,
But
shut
keep
up.
going.
Nigga, shut up. There's a reason I do this shit, nigga. Like what the? Alright, okay. You know what? Since we're gonna talk like niggas, alright, nigga. How about it's kind of it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how they have a whole list of demands that they had. They had a whole list of demands that they had, and it's really good that they wanted to make the extradition thing the number one thing, that they couldn't just take people from Hong Kong and send them to China to go get tried. Yes, that's absolutely true. And also for the other thing, for them to release and expunge the records of people who are already arrested, that's great too. Those are great demands. Those are bedrock demands. But like the thing after that, where they haven't really drilled and gone actually after any territory, and they kind of just throw rocks at cops over the weekend and kind of recede and then go back out and do the same. It's the same thing as I'm noticing the Hong Kong riots are turning in. Unfortunately, they're turning very similarly into the London riots. That's something I'm noticing. That's the problem, Cam. And I don't mean that from, because the thing is, the London riots is very similarly to what people. This is the thing. People forget history.
Let's say like within like the next few weeks, what kind of trajectory would you like to see?
So, a trajectory I would like to see is a more work, because the people who are protesting right now are, and the thing is this: when I say this, know that I'm not trying to make any judgments or negative statements against people. Whatever population decides in a community to rebel against tyranny, that it doesn't matter what class distinction. It matters that they have an interest in fighting power. Now, when I say that, it's very alarming that when you look into who's actually protesting, it seems to be educated, very educated, very affluent young people who have the time to go on the weekends to protest these things. And this is reflected in it's reflected in the fact that they have those American flags where they chant Trump come help us, because these are those, like, they may not necessarily, that's a very complicated thing, right? So they may not necessarily love Trump, but what they do know is that Trump hates China.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they hate China.
And they hate China, right?
Yeah. And what you're saying does make a lot of sense, because like what is it? My friend who lives here told me day over here is like 12 hours.
What do you say?
The average work day over here in Hong Kong is 12 hours.
What?
God damn.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
normal.
Christ, man.
That's normal shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is
So my thing is, if they're gonna have a riot, we keep hearing riot. We keep seeing people defuse tear gas bombs. We keep seeing fights. We keep seeing this very sexy imagery. What we don't see is a politic. What we don't see is a rhetoric being used by these people. What we don't see is an actual basis for what they're fighting for. What we get fed by a very, very dubiously all-encompassing media machine that seems very interested in letting us know that there are riots in Hong Kong. And the thing is, when I say these things, also keep in mind that the riots in Hong Kong are something I support. Right? That's something I also want to keep like very in forefront.
No, definitely, yeah.
Like, the riots in Hong Kong are something I support, but we all need to be aware of, hey man, when you're in the middle of a war, the generals need to kind of get together and talk about some shit. And I know we have no place talking about anything that's happening in Hong Kong, because that's not us. But as someone who's interested in leftist movements, and as someone who's interested in like situations like this, I feel like there should be a discussion on labor policy when it comes to pushing forward in this whole thing. Like, okay, so they've got their list of demands. A cool thing would be something about shortening the work week. Now that they've gotten the attention of China, now that they've gotten the attention of all these things, like they can argue for a way to change the way politics is organized in fucking Hong Kong. Because there's actually something in Hong Kong that I'm not entirely well versed on how this works, but something about how it's not necessarily a direct democracy, how it's like companies have a say somehow. Like private interests have a say somehow in the way like it's really fucked the way Hong Kong is set up. Like,
that's wild.
It's really.
You know what's funny? I was having a conversation with a friend about that exact thing. Not like how companies own, like how like America basically saying anything about it is just for like show, and they're gonna like. They use this place to like make money and shit, and just like.
Because at the end of the day, baby, look around you. That's the only thing that anything is ever done for. It's done like what? Okay, so think back to the Matrix. And I know this is a really wild thing to just veer into, but The Matrix is a very wonderful, beautiful movie because it really distills certain things down to metaphors that you can like extract at certain points and present. There's more than just a red pill, blue pill thing. Oh no, baby. There's a lot of stuff in there that's really good. See, when Morpheus does that whole thing in the Matrix where he explains to Neo what the Matrix is and what actually the robots are doing it for, he says, all it is to turn humankind into this. And he holds a battery to the fucking screen. When he holds that battery to the screen, he means turning humans into the energy to make it continue. And at the end of the day, current capitalism, the irony of it, That's not even what they're doing it for. They're doing it for profit. Something even less valuable. That's the fucking irony here. And it happens everywhere. So look around you and look around you and you'll see it. Everything is done for profit. So when they bring up these things about Hong Kong, when they bring it up, there's reasons why. There's reasons why. A free Hong Kong is very, very, very valuable to America. Very. Same as how it was valuable to Britain, the last empire on the block. And that's the reason why China's so mad, because they feel like it's out with the old boss, in with the new. All over again, baby. That's the reason. You see, when you start extracting things and thinking on more of like a global politics scale, these things start becoming really stupid and hard to track and annoying. And I want the Hong Kong riots to be something, but fuck, man, fuck.
You know what it is, Jimmy?
What?
Actually, I feel like they'll find some way to like turn this into a bag.
Huh? Who? The Hong Kong?
Nah, the states will try to find some way to make this place a bag.
They've
already. In what way? In what way?
Sam. To be very honest, the seeds have already been sown, and that's real shit.
Yeah,
that's literally real shit. The seeds have already been sown. Yeah. Like niggas is preparing. The bag just needs a signature. The money's already there.
Someone says, Someone says, Jimmy, you need to watch Unsolved. Okay, wait, what's up? Please, Jordan Allen, please type a little bit more about what this Unsolved thing is.
Yo,
real quick
for a run.
Well, I'm outside right now. I just got home. Yo, is my mic loud though? I think I lowered it down. Is it good?
Mic is still loud.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's kind of loud.
All right, hold on. I think I figured out how to fix it.
Someone was like, Tsukuyomi Sasami, did you hear what happened in Mexico? No, what happened in Mexico? Please tell me. What happened in Mexico?
Oh yeah, they got they arrested El Chapo.
Is that better?
And caused a big ass firefight in the middle of highways and shit.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's nasty.
El Chapo?
Jeez,
wait,
damn.
Wait, there was a big ass
fire. They tried to get his kid, but the squad pulled up and told the police, no, nigga.
And made the police shake their hands. Yeah, I seen that. That shit was crazy.
Oh my god, crazy. They said, you know what, nigga? No, we're gonna actively defy you once again in public.
Yep.
Man,
that nigga never stopped embarrassing that nigga.
The world is crazy.
Just constant. He's just laughing at them at this point.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay, so they El Chapo's son was in detainment. Right, he was heading to jail. And then members from El Chapo's cartel pulled up and then freed him.
So wild.
Wow. Yes. That's fucking wild. What? That's some actual motherfucking Narcos shit. That's just what?
Yo, this world is crazy, bro.
What the
they killed the fuck out of so many of them niggas.
They did.
What?
Oh, word.
The cartel outgunned the military.
The cartel. No. Okay, so think about this, right? Because one of my Mexican friends really broke it down to me, and it changed the way I viewed this thing. Think about this. So you've got Mexico. Look at how big Mexico is. Look at how big Mexico is. Look how many people are in Mexico, right? Like, think about how many people are in Mexico.
Oh my god!
Think about how many people are in Mexico in America, and think about how many people are in Mexico in Mexico. It's more people. Because think about it, it's more
they
people.
Willingly released them.
It's more people in Mexico than there are in America. So think about that logically, right? And so he told me the amount of people in the cartel are like twice the amount of people in the Mexican military. So think about that.
Why not just turn the cartel into the military at that point?
Think about that. Like, the thing is, they don't have numbers on how many people are actually in the cartel and are ready to just pull up guns at any moment. Cause that shit, they don't, it's the fucking mafia, nigga. Like, they've really got entire villages of kids just like training on this shit. It's really fucked.
Stop talking about the cartel, because they're coming to get us if we do.
We're in America, and you're in Ireland.
Yeah.
You think they come for you?
Look! I'm not taking chances in the cartel. There's a story about a British couple who got assassinated for looking into the cartel way too much.
Oh, word.
His fault.
Yo, if they got the power to like,
all this stuff is common knowledge, though.
Yo, they're just like the Yakuza, dog. The cartel.
Yeah, no. That shit is crazy. Oh my god.
Actually, Jimmy, what's the Yakuza actually like? Is it worse than Mafia?
To be fair, was the Mexican military. You know what? Hold it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. To be fair, it's the Mexican military. What's up, Holden? How you doing? I feel like Holden, you're in my Discord. You should be able to join the call if you want.
Oh, shit, Holden's in. Nice.
Yo, Jimmy.
What's up?
1, sup. 2, do you want to see some concepts?
Yes, sir. Please.
Concepts for what?
Post them in the art bunker.
Concept for myself.
Yeah, in the art bunker. Dog.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Who's talking? Sorry.
Me.
Oh yeah, I forgot. KD, you're an artist.
KD, feel free to post links of your art in the chat.
I don't know.
Oh. I'll just post what I'm working on like right now. These are just.
Here's a fun thing you might have known.
Yo, Cameron, look at this shit. It's in the art bunker.
Cool.
Here's a fun thing you might have known.
What is this for? Like a
damn, this looks good and has good color coordination to it.
Hey, wait, you said what is this for? There's no reason for this. I just wanted to make 4 random body types. That was just.
Here's a fun fact. You know, if we have rescinded prohibition, America would have actually become like Mexico today with this whole mafia shit.
What do you mean?
And then I got bored with those, and I'm working on some random horse shit right now.
You realized prohibition was a bad idea. America would have became like how Mexico is today with the mafia.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. It would have been too big to dissolve. Even if they made like alcohol legal. Like, yep. Because like if America didn't end prohibition in the 30s and like actually allowed it to just continue and allowed the black market for alcohol to live on into the 80s or something, think about the crime wave that happened in the 80s, regardless of whether or not like there was a big like whether or not prohibition happened. Multiply that with prohibition. Think about the crime wave in the 80s with prohibition. That would have.
You know what? You know the only thing I can think of.
That would have.
The only thing I can think of.
What do you think?
The genocide of black people in America.
Man.
Hotep means truth, brother. It means truth. Preach, nigga. Let them know.
Listen, y'all laughing, but prohibition lasting to the 80s and adding crack cocaine to it. Please, bro.
With prohibition,
rap.
Yeah, prohibition living on into the 80s with crack. Black people, there would be the population of like number one, hip hop would be way cooler. Hip hop would be way better. Like it would be so fucking good. Rap would be so much fucking sicker. But it would be it would be terrible. Like the loads of people would die. Like, but yeah, rap would be fucking sick.
Like fam, like I've had people that lived in the crack era tell me like, yo, they used to just watch people just dying on the street. Like it was a thing. Like, damn, he overdosed again.
You know, something I've noticed is that black people, I've been to the south side of Atlanta, like where a lot of like the hoods where black people really just live, like just like a lot of like the regular hoods, and like I feel like that shit's just Nigeria sometimes. Like for real. I'm like, damn, this is America. This is America.
Fam.
Like you
East New York, Brooklyn back in the 90s, bro.
Like let me tell you something. For all my African viewers watching this, right? There's parts of America you go to, yeah, you're just like, what? Like it feels like you're back home. I'm so serious. It feels like you're back home. When you see certain parts of America, it looks so bad. Like and I want Americans to understand that that's the extent to which it gets. The fact that someone from the third world that you guys are so like, you know, you guys think you're so above. I'm coming here and telling you, bro, some of y'all shit look kind of like us.
Bro, yo, ain't this the same country that still has like legal child marriage in some places?
That what?
Bro, like
I tell people all the time, especially in cities, like y'all need to go to like the deep stuff. Like people talk about Flint, they don't realize that a lot of communities down south.
Can y'all read the chat? Can y'all? I'm reading the chat. I'm looking at the chat right now. Hong Kong is fucking.
So Jimmy, doesn't Nigeria still have witch hunts to this day?
I don't know about that, but you know what? I won't lie. That doesn't surprise me. Like, it's not. I won't say witch hunts, but it's in the culture. Like, if I guarantee you, if one of my female cousins, someone's in the family said she was a witch, somebody in the family would try and kidnap her and get her exorcised or some shit. Not killed,
Holy
but like,
shit.
like they would probably do some like, Christianity shit. They're super religious in Nigeria. Like it's uber religious. Like it's really
because the church is their only form.
Hey, manage for your protection, Jimmy.
Because the church is the only source of income that the government actually gets. That the laws are so bad in it.
America has Zimbabwe niggas singing country roads. What the fuck? Yo, that's so real. The niggas who sing country roads are just like they're living the poverty life of Zimbabwe niggas.
I'm so home. Damn, I was.
It's probably better to Fallout 76.
Yo, West Africa's one of the most conservative places on earth, dog. What? Eek. Man, you can't grow your hair without getting called a loser there. You can't, like, if you grow your hair if you grow your hair in that, like me and Zen, if we go back home to our parents, they'll look at us like we're fucking gang members.
No, yeah, you don't, you.
Like, they'll look at us like we're fucking gang members, dog. What? My hair is too long for what my people are.
Nah, when I went back home, I got bullied so much, it was crazy. And I didn't even have my hair growing up at that point.
You know another thing you get bullied for if you're like not from Africa and you go back to Africa.
Yeah.
Well, not even like even if you're from there but you didn't grow up there, you get bullied for your accent so much.
You get bullied for your accent. You get bullied for the way you dress.
The way you dress. Yeah, you get bullied for the way you dress, for your accent, like for the way you like everything. And you want to know what? The bullying, right, comes from this weird, and I get it. And it makes me feel annoyed when I have to fight back against it, because I also understand where it comes from, because it comes from this weird inferiority complex that Africans end up having, and it's like,
they say like, oh, you went to the West, now you look soft, bro.
It's like, oh, now you get better to know. Now you be better to know. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry that we can't do things like in America that you do here.
Right, exactly.
That's essentially that's what they said. Like, oh, I'm sorry. no, I'm Yankee. I'm sorry that we cannot make it for you like they do it over there.
Yup.
It's just like, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting like flashbacks.
It's like, bro, step the fuck off. Like we're from the same place. I've been here before. For you know what? In a lot of ways, like a lot of the time, like nigga, I live here. Why are you talking to me like this? Like, I'm from here. My parents are from the same country as you. I know the same language as you. What the fuck? That's the reason why I learned how to speak Pidgin and why I learned the meager amount of Yoruba that I do know. Cause it's like, cause it's a defense mechanism. I can't be in Africa and not know how to talk like an African. I go there talking like this, I get kidnapped.
The funny thing is, he's not lying.
That's what makes us funny.
God damn it.
I'd get kidnapped. And you know what? I get it. That's just the lingering sentiment of colonialism. It's what makes Africans not from Africa not want to go back to Africa, because Africans in Africa act a certain way around us.
Yeah, that's like one of a litany of hoops you have to jump through if you like moving back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. One of my close friends is.
Let's not get started on how they treat Americans. What?
Yeah.
Fuck.
How do they treat Americans?
There's two where if you go so the Africans that come here usually they'll either be friendly and nice, or they'll have like this weird superiority complex. Those are the fuckboy Nigerians. No one cares about them. The one, if you go to Africa though, there's a lot more variety in the ones you meet. you'll meet people who really love that you're American and like really want to like know more about you and like know more about your culture. You'll meet people who try to take advantage of you every step of the way because they think you have money because you're American, and America literally just translates to money in their language. And there's other people who will really kind of take up a nationalist stance on like, on my Yankee, why you coming here? Is there not enough place in your own country? Like, do you not have your own place? Why are you coming here to down? Is it not downgrading for you? Like, they have this idea that just because you're in America, you must be doing better than you're doing here. So why are you coming here?
It's wild.
Yeah, right? So it's a lot of ways. And I know then there's like the economic factors of it, where they're like, there's a lot of Africans though who are more willing to do business with African Americans than Nigerians, because Nigerians hate each other. Nigerians fucking hate each other.
I can't bring my all stuff of it.
Well, it's not like Ghana. People from Ghana and people from Nigeria love each other as much either. Considering that whole fucking fiasco.
Oh man, Ghana and Nigeria have a very sordid history together. You know what? It's weird because we are so interconnected in so many ways. Because like, if you take away the like European border restrictions, Ghana and the people and land between Ghana and Nigeria are so fucking shared, and like, so the Yoruba, my people, went to where Ghana is currently located, and eventually became the Asante people, which I think Zen's from, and that like essentially, and also where I think Yao's from. So it's weird how we share a common ancestry, but according to borders created by fucking Europeans, we're supposed to be at each other's throats because of economic factors that were dictated by situations that were created by fucking Europeans. I fucking hate white people. I want this whole thing to burn. I want all of them to be shot. I'm going to fucking kill everyone. Ass Erder, people. Ass Erder. Ass Erder. In a video game. In a video game.
Waiting.
All you'd have to do is buy me a gun. So
in a video game.
In a video game. In a video game.
In VR.
Survival horror, nigga.
In a VR MMO. In a VR MMO.
Hey, but in all seriousness, never go out and shoot anything or anyone because it's not gonna gain you anything.
The Irish aren't white.
Yeah, never go out and shoot anybody for no reason.
Especially if you're colored, because now you're just giving
I swear to God, I thought you said colored like greens, and that shit killed me.
What?
No,
He said colored.
He said colored, like black people.
No. I heard. I got it after a second. I just swear to God, he said colored, and that shit killed me.
Nah. Because if you go out there and do some fucked up shit as like a colored person, some fucked up shit as a
fucks
colored
up for
person.
everybody. So we'll let the white people do it. I feel you.
But then they do it to us.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, what you gonna be for Halloween?
That's how racism works.
Oh shit.
They do it to each other too.
Oh, that's how racism works.
What am I gonna be for Halloween?
I want to be an unarmed black man. It's pretty dangerous.
Me too.
But Jimmy, I want to order a shirt with like a very like comical gun on it for extra emphasis when I say it.
Yeah.
Or like some kind
No,
of
what you do is you order. No, what you order is a shirt with target on the back.
Also, hi. I just come in and I just talk and I just hear like Jimmy wanting to kill white people again. So
I mean, that's a mood like every other day though.
That's fair. Look, Jimmy.
The only reason I did that was because I wanted to illustrate how all roads lead back to the white man is the devil. That's what I wanted to do. And I know that Patel.
Jimmy, in that vein, are you excited for the new reboot of the Boondocks?
Am I excited for the new reboot of the Boondocks?
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding. By the way, white people aren't evil. I'm sure I have white fans. I have white friends. I love
Jimmy, why are you trying to justify yourself?
Fuck all that.
No, it's okay, Jimmy. I'm not white. Secretly, I'm yellow.
Wait. Hold on. Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
That's a completely different thing.
So Jimmy, since you said white man is a devil, like early Malcolm X, I want to know, how do you feel about the change he made in his policies when he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca? when he changed from Malcolm X to El Haj Malik El Shabazz.
He later kind of distanced himself from that shit. But
Nana was like, no comment.
But if we're gonna address it, look, man, he found a place of peace.
After that,
He found at some point in every black man's life, they lose the hatred because they realize that the fire, it burns for so long, and you realize nothing happens, and your brothers around you who also had the fire have it snuffed out, either through forcible means or through coercion. And
just buy another
you realize the ramen is 30.
Hold on. So let me ask this question. Now. When are you gonna lose yours?
I mean, I feel like he still got people around with fire.
Man, no, let Jimmy answer.
Well, Jimmy's way too young and horny to lose it right now.
Man, hold on.
That's a real ass.
Look. Everyone will lose it sooner or later.
All I can hope is what I will say is when he did end up dulling his blade, as I would say it, he still landed at a very good politic. He landed at the same.
Your blade, but you still have a sword.
Yeah, he landed at the same kind of radical black politic that he always preached. He just didn't center it around murdering white people. He centered it around uplifting black people, and that's when they murdered him. Anyway, let's go.
I'm just saying.
All right. Jimmy handled that very well. I was trying to get him to say some stupid shit, but he handled that very well. Good job.
I don't come in here often, so I'm here for the ignorance. I kind of want this man to disparage clear folk.
Jimmy isn't an idiot. He's just very, very, very like gung ho on his shit.
I know. I just like fucking with him.
Oh man,
I'm just saying.
He does get good reactions.
It is funny.
Wait, who was the guy who wasn't hyped for the new Boondock season? What's the word with that?
Oh,
me. I'm not hype about it.
How come?
Why? Do you feel like
it's tainted?
It's
tainted.
Bro, Aaron Magruder's coming back, bro.
So for the record, I'm Irish, so I
wait. What tainted it?
What tainted it? See, the thing about it is, when the rumor came out that he wasn't even in charge of season 4. It's like, all right, so now I know he really doesn't own this thing, so that means he really can't do what he really wants to. And in order for me, hold on.
The newest season though.
No, hold on. Let me finish. In order for me to sit and watch it again, you know what it's like? It's like Akira Toriyama, right? With Dragon Ball Z. Then you find out that GT wasn't really his creation. And the way, especially how that went, it was like, this have a taste in my mouth. And then he comes back with Kai and then Super. But with me, at the end of the day, GT's always going to be there. And it's just like, that dulled it off fast.
I get what you're saying, but like, that's too much attachment to the name.
Yeah, why are you giving so much like importance to detours? Like, if the material that the actual creator, like, at least they're getting like a consultation of where to fuck with this. Before that last season was kind of ass. It was all over the place.
Like, stop paying attention to like the iconography. Look at like the heart of it. You know, like look behind the scenes. That's what's most important. And like once you like reorient that lens, it makes it so much easier to like swallow the fact that season 4
one bad season isn't going to.
Hold on.
By the way, I have something to say about season 4.
One bad season,
I have something to say about season 4. By the way.
Yeah.
So, y'all are familiar with a lady named Angela Nissel.
Yeah, she's the lady at Christian on Twitter.
Angela Nissel is a very interesting lady because one day my mouth was running at full speed and I was talking.
Yo, fam.
I was talking hella cash shit and I was like, yo. I flatly called her out and said Angela Nissel ruined season 4 of the Boondocks.
Yep, oh, no. I remember that. Yup.
And the
I
thing
remember
is,
that. If she got in that ass.
The thing is, I didn't realize that even though she was a blue checkmark, Angela Nissel throws these hands. She throws these haymakers.
Yo, she got into his ass, bro. I was for it, bro. But he was like, Auntie Ray came and got me.
But here's the thing. I when I get my ass beat, I learn things. I learn.
Right.
I listened. You wanna know what I learned? I learned that Aaron Magruder wasn't as detached from season 4 as we might think.
Oh shit!
Bam! There we go. Thank you.
I learned that Aaron Magruder, all that was detached was his name from the episodes he co-wrote.
No.
Thank you for reminding me, Matt. Thank you for reminding me for that, because I remember that's where I started getting really thinking about it. It was from that section of tweets when she went and got your ass, and I was like, oh shit.
See,
thank you for that.
See, black women teach us things, bro. Black women teach us wonderful things. We have to appreciate them.
So here's the thing. If that's the case, then is it the fact that he was also writing Black Jesus at the time that caused the decline in quality?
Probably. Yeah. And to be very honest, Black Jesus flopped.
That was a flop. He's still writing Black Jesus though.
And it's still a flop.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. If season 5 is in production right now and he's still writing Black Jesus, what do we have to be excited for? Are we not to expect the same level of quality as
I feel like he should always give stuff a shot of return to form.
No, I'm sure.
Like, fuck it.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
sure.
Oh, wait, hold up.
You can have skepticism, but I'm not going to completely rule out something that I knew this man put his heart into once before. Doesn't mean it's not going to be ass, and it doesn't mean you should not take what you learned into account. I'm just going to give it a shot.
True. My whole thing is though, is in order for me to like it, it has to be as good as season 1.
You mean when
I need to see it return to that standards?
Convicts?
No. I need to see it get back to season 1 because season 1 was a special season.
When R. Kelly was still talkable about.
You goddamn right. And guess what? R. Kelly should be a focus in the season.
We all know that Aaron Magruder is aware of the reception of season 4. I think he's like 10 toes down.
Jordan Allen was like, Jimmy, my 380-pound black ass is gonna be a Twitch thought for Halloween. I'm cashing out my liberal virtue points from being black and pansexual. Hey, there we go.
Thanks.
Black and pansexual? Ooh.
It's Mr. Black and pansexual.
Mr. Black and
Living life on a hard mode.
And you know what? I want to do like a, cause just thinking about Jordan, right? Thinking about Jordan, and like, cause he's a homie that's been with us since like a while back. I want to think about the people who are from GG that like eventually became leftists. Like,
oh god,
there's a ton of them.
There's a few.
It's a whole slew. You want to know why? Because GG wasn't as much of a reactionary movement as as liberal history wants to paint it out to be. There were real contentions with
there were. And some people were terrible.
I feel like that we've been gaslit by history. We've been gaslit by a combination of like liberal talking points and just the general
and actual bad shit.
Yeah, the general revoltation of actual bad shit. Yeah, like man, that's the reason why you can't.
No. Let's hear your argument.
That's the reason why you can't.
How so has it been revised?
How so has it been revised? Okay, so insofar as the base claim is, the ironic claim is it was about ethics and game journalism.
Okay.
Now, it's a very that sentence is the most dangerous sentence in video game discourse. That sentence is it's become very dangerous because of Gamergate, because that is what people would use as a gaslight to harass women during the times it was happening. But that was actually what people like me and what people like Jordan Allen were fucking fighting for.
And Total Biscuit.
And Total Biscuit. God rest his fucking soul. Don't make me cry, bro. Don't make me cry. Wow.
Yeah, fuck the people who used that as a way to smear him during his death.
Fuck. Yeah. So, man, Total Biscuit always been like he's one of those people that really, really always like gets me fucking in my feelings, bro. Like
it's weird how him and Jim Sterling went on the opposite end of this game journalism.
Yeah, you
sure
know,
seemed like a slow guy.
But they arrived at the same point.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right, I'm back. I went to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, yo Jimmy, you know who I got to meet?
Ooh.
I got to meet my hero. I got to meet Ahmed Al-Duri.
Really?
Yeah, I got to go rock climbing with him too. It was fucking cool.
How?
How? So you remember Lightbox, or you heard of Lightbox that happened in like California, like I don't know, a month or two ago?
What was that?
Lightbox was basically a convention for illustrators.
Okay.
That is what I could summarize it. The first one held in California. There is somebody that I know on Discord that lives like a fucking 30-minute drive from me. They were, and I wasn't going to Lightbox because I needed to work and stuff, but he was coming in to basically pick him up and go on a road trip. So while he stopped here, I got to meet him in Dallas, and he was teaching me about like illustration and shit. It was nice.
Oh,
it's really fucking nice.
Fucking swell.
So he drew in my sketchbook. I'll post in the fucking art bunker what he did. But yeah, that was like one of the few moments in my mind. I had like I cried. Dead ass. Like, cause it's different to meet like a bunch of artists that you've been talking to. All consolidated in one place.
The power of the internet, bro.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then we went bouldering, which is rock climbing without a harness. And let me tell you, that shit is hard. But it was probably one of the best memories I had recently. Also, it kind of fueled my art. Shit, like I don't know, if I didn't have motivation before I met that dude, I fucking sure did after. Because the thing about that, if you don't know who Ahmed Al-Duri is, he's like a really human like illustrator. Like that man doesn't like, oh man, everything's sweet. He like, I have all this success and I still get fucking sad. I like that. Yeah. It's the most human thing to talk to a man like 30 years, like 20 years my senior.
Like you want to know?
He's like 32.
You want to know who my like? You want to know who has a very similar kind of style to Ahmed Al-Duri, who is kind of my hero when it comes to drawing? I'd say Sakra Yassin. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He doesn't even do YouTube anymore. That man makes more money off of like commissions than he does than he ever did off of YouTube. So stop.
He's out. He's out of the game. But his work will live. His like he has a YouTube channel. If you wanna learn how to draw, nigga, he left it there for you. He doesn't make any more videos anymore because he doesn't need to. Because I feel like he literally just left it there for you.
Why would you? Like legitimately, it was a labor of love that I don't feel like was truly appreciated.
Like seriously, like if you go and look at his channel, that's the like if you could go and look through all those hundreds of videos, if you really dedicated your time to it, that stuff would teach you how to be a fantastic artist. I haven't drawn in years, but I picked up a book the other day and I started sketching shit again. And because I remembered the shit I learned from watching him and like just, sketching while listening to his stuff, I felt it again, you know when you feel like, oh wow, I'm actually drawing, like, like it doesn't feel like, I feel like I have control of the form and the function. Like I felt that again, and that's only because I spent that time like really remembering this shit, and that's something that not many artists can really explain on in many ways. That's something not many artists can actually like get across.
It was a weird sense of like, because I don't know about y'all, but I would assume not a lot of y'all cry in front of people. Cause I like in my like opinion, I'm like, I've never once felt like crying was like a sense of weakness. It just
I never cry.
So like whenever I felt, but it was just like that man started like teaching me about like 1 point, like just going over 2 point in perspective and how to checkerboard a character. Yeah.
Oh, Jordan, shit. Jordan freaking like in the chat, he says he got to meet Edgar Wright when Scott Pilgrim was being filmed. That would have been amazing.
That's crazy.
I would have lost it.
Oh yeah, hearing this reminds me of me and my dad once saw Stan Lee in a diner once, and I was too nervous to say hi, so my dad kind of was the one who pushed me along and talked to him.
I posted what he drew in my sketchbook because he asked me what I wanted in there. Because I got to look through his shit too. Yeah. really fucking neat. But like,
if any of you are familiar, sorry to cut you off, but if any of you are familiar
you're fine, dude.
with this music group called Saint Beauty, they're signed to Wonderland Records with Janelle Monáe, and they've been on her albums a couple times. This group called Saint Beauty, one of the girls, Alex, she was really just at this one event that I go to all the time, and like I was literally just like rapping. And I was just rapping like some fucking verse I had like with a bunch of people. And she's like, "Do you have like?" She was asking me if I had like any like stuff, and I didn't even know I didn't know who she was really. She was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm with this group called Saint Beauty." I'm like, "Oh really?" I was like, "Yeah, what?" And then I didn't know she was signed to Wonderland Records. She didn't really like she didn't bring that up, you don't. She like kind of how I don't really bring up my YouTube shit. I think other people usually walk around life not doing that shit too. I appreciate that about people.
I would imagine it makes life doable.
Yeah, it makes life very easy. So especially if people don't necessarily recognize her. So like I just talk to her like a person, like a person does. And she seemed like a really cool girl. Got a number and exchange contact info.
Wow.
Go online. I figure out. Holy shit. It's like, oh, I've heard her music before. Like, her music wasn't Insecure. What? Like, Jesus Christ. You meet people like that, and it's just a beautiful thing, because the world isn't as fucking big as it makes it look.
I don't know. The major thing I took away from the bullshit that not bullshit, but like the whole experience was, he just asked me questions that, I don't know, he's like, I brought my sketchbook, and he was going through everybody's there, and he's like, these are really good. He's like, why don't you post these? And I was like, fair. And he's like, same. But he's like
I
every
hear
one of
that.
them. Yeah, he's like, yeah, like I feel it. But at the same time, he's like, it's a journey learning how to not give a fuck about other people. Because you're never going to make them happy, and just not doing your shit and being you is just going to make you miserable. So you might as well do it your way and just try.
I hear that, bro. I hear that for real.
But like, yeah, he started telling me shit, checking board in a character, going through, and I was like, yo, I'm fine. I'm just like, I've never cried for pure like happiness in my life, but that was the day where that shit happened. I was like, it's nice to hear. It's nice to not feel alone.
Just nice. It really is. And I think that's the journey of mankind. Just a quest to feel less alone. A quest to feel less alone. And
pretty much.
That's where I think I would like to end tonight's stream. It's been wonderful, guys. Y'all have been a beautiful chat. I have been your host, and I'm actually gonna pull out the fucking doc for this one. Give me a second. Because
I know of the 17 titles.
Are there actually 17? Did people count them? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Nino, aka Q Ray, aka the Human Last Year Machine, aka the Hot Take Intellectual, aka the Young Giga Drill, aka the Nigerian Dundada, aka Lil Heart Attack, Asutoku Ganja, Miyamoto Too Flashy, Hattori trapping out the bando. I don't pay for my Crunchyroll, I got people for that. Aka Atlanta's original otaku, the Millennial Fela Kuti, the Pagan Slayer, aka Bugs Money, aka Young Mind Size. Hey gal, I'm trying to chat to you. Rah, you're gonna dub me, calm your butters anyway. AKA the colonizer pulverizer, AKA Boss 9 of the Shiri Mafia, AKA Strong Boyega, AKA Childish Gam Nino. Call me Cash the Stampede. Call me Cash the Stampede.
You just made up like 5 of these shits from the last time.
As I was saying, call me Cash the Stampede, because all I do is make this money and spread love and peace. AKA Charles Spasnable, AKA Blink Hyuk An, AKA that kid from Too Many Places to Count, AKA Mr. Black and Platinum. It's been a wonderful fucking evening with you lot, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Sayonara, Minasan. Thanks for watching.
Damn.